This special episode comes with content warnings for bereavement, gore, injury and violence, trauma, death, corpses, manipulation, and emotional coercion. There are small mentions of neglectful parents and bad home situations. A character expresses suicidal intention in one circumstance, but does not engage in self-harm or linger on the intention very long. There is one real-life racist slur mentioned by a character of that race, mixed-raced Chinese, which is also the race of the player, brought to the table by that player, me, because I was comfortable with it, and not by the other players. For those who know the game, there are no vampires in this session of Monsterhearts, as it was not a skin we were comfortable playing with. We are awful to each other in this game. We made sure we played this on a day when we were all in good mental health. We used good safety tools, which are included in the game. Monsterhearts has a chapter devoted to safety tools. This can be a heavy sort of game, so make sure to play with good friends on a good day and in a safe, stable environment. We had a lot of fun recording this, and it can be a lot of fun going to those places on the right day with the right people. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to this special episode of Heartache in High Schools, where a bunch of mad actors attempt to survive the teen angst of Monsterhearts. I am your host and master of ceremonies, Robbie Bellekom, and I am joined, as ever, by Sam, Teen Wolf Burns, Jason, Teen Angel Phelps, and Ellie, Teen Spirit Sparrow.
Woo!
Oh.
I smell like things.
Yes. I'll be surprised if anyone else remembers the 90s series Teen Angel, but I liked it, so it went in.
I'm aware
I
of
vaguely
it.
do.
I don't remember that. But it feels like it's probably the appropriate genre. So,
It
I think you're
super
the-
is.
Are you the youngest of us? I think you're the youngest of us.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes you feel
Yes.
like the oldest. You're like the
I'm
most mature.
extremely
but-
sensible, so I can
yes.
see why.
Anyway,
Yeah.
welcome to this special episode. We are playing Monsterhearts.
Ooh.
A really good game that I should have got all the credits up for before I did this bit. But
So
it
Avery
is-
Alder, I think it
Yes,
is?
written and designed by Avery Alder with a whole bunch of writing contributions. It's powered by the Apocalypse, and you can find it at www.buriedwithoutceremony.com/monsterhearts. It's a really great game. It's not that pricey. I really suggest playing it if you can. It's a lot
It's
of
honestly
fun.
like one of the best RPG books I've ever read.
It's
Like
so
how the
lovely.
book is written is just it's lovely.
It's
Also,
doing
if
a
you're
lot
a-
of things right.
If you're a game designer, it is actually well worth checking out Avery Alder's Twitter because they have some excellent insights on there. They've got a post which just has a thread with everything game design they've written.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we are playing the second edition of Monsterhearts. If anyone is interested, not interesting. I'm sure you're very interesting. But we have not played this game before, so we will be getting rules wrong. We will be making stuff up as we go along. We will be playing a bit fast and loose with it. Because it's more fun that way, rather than get bogged down in whether we're doing it right. So please don't tweet us when we get it wrong. Because we know we're getting it wrong. But we're having fun,
No.
goddammit.
And also, there's no point tweeting us when we get it wrong because it was weeks ago.
Yeah.
By the time
Yeah,
you're
it's
hearing
really not
it,
worth it.
there's
Yeah.
never any point tweeting us about rules or maths because it's uncorrectable.
So
Also, we don't know what content warnings will have preceded this because
there
we'll
will be
find out in
content
play.
warnings.
The main one that we have definitely just first of all is teens are assholes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I imagine you've heard the content warnings already because we
Yes.
usually put them right
Yeah,
at the
please
start.
do pay
so,
attention to them. If they're there, we mean it.
Yes.
Yeah, and just look after yourself, please.
If miraculously there were no content warnings, then either I have seriously fucked up in the editing, or this was an amazingly tame game.
Yeah, this was chill.
Yeah.
Anyway, Robbie, please carry on.
Because this is a new system for us, and probably for a lot of people will be a new system for you, we will be explaining the rules as we go along. We're not going to do a long thing at the top, because not all the rules will be relevant. So it's just very basically is a 2d6 system. It's powered by the Apocalypse. You roll 2d6, add your modifier, and anything 6 or below will be a failure. 7 to 9 is a success with consequences. 10 plus is a success. There are things called strings, which show basically someone. If you have a string on someone, you have some sort of power over them. It's a secret, or you've got something you can use to persuade them to do something for you, or make something hurt more. So that's basically almost like a currency of the game. I think everything else we'll do as we come to.
Hello, stowaways. Unusually, this is future Ellie. We recorded this quite a few months ago, and since then I've realised I'm a bit more queer than I'd thought. So my pronouns have changed. I'm currently using the term genderqueer and she-they pronouns rather than plain she-her, as you'll hear me say in the introductions on this episode. It felt weird having the wrong ones out there, and while we could have just edited in new ones, this felt a little bit more honest. Especially since the Monsterhearts handbook states that the game is queer and my character Crow was my first go at using my current full-time pronouns. People change, as do pronouns. Mine still might again. It's okay to change yours if you want to. Lots of love, and enjoy the show.
Are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Excellent.
I think you should do the whole game in that voice.
As they enter, because that's always fun and cinematic.
Yes.
Okay. Most of these games are usually set in high schools in the US. Some of us can't do accents, so this is set in London, sort of. It's Essex. It's that weird bit between London and Essex that isn't really either.
What we like to call Zone 6.
Yes.
Yeah. It might actually be further out than Zone 6.
I think it only goes to 6 on the Central Line. There is a Zone 9.
It is,
but that's,
yeah.
There is a Zone 9.
No,
West
it is
London.
6, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's Zone 6.
Me and Robbie used to live there. So
This game
enjoy
is
I
our
also
in a
used to live
place
there.
we used to live.
Yes.
So, let us begin. Set in the glorious town. It's more of a village that got absorbed by everything around it. Of Debden. It's mostly housing estates made of post-war housing that was intended to fill a gap where everything got bombed and then was never torn down. It's grey. There are patches of green, which are just bits of grass between houses where kids play football. There are a row of shops, somewhat patronisingly called a high street. There is a tube station that will take you straight into the centre of London, but it always smells faintly of weed and piss. There is a high school here, Debden Royal Forest Secondary. It has been closed for several weeks since there was an accident on... I should have the right page open. Here we are. So, on the 20th of March, 2019, that far off time in the past, when the world still had hope and joy in.
Oh, God. We're fine.
Everything's fine. The 20th of March, 2019, there was an accident at Debden Royal Forest Secondary. That is such a mouthful. Why did we never say it out loud? I love it. It's awful. Thanks, guys. There's been building work been done pretty much for the entire school year. And there was an accident on site. At around 10 o'clock that night, one night, 2 students had broken into the site rather than the school, for whatever reason, and part of it collapsed, killing one. Brian. Did we ever give Brian a surname? Did we really forget that?
We did.
Oh
we
my
did.
God.
We did.
What's Brian's
Oh,
name?
maybe we didn't. All my mind is just saying Foster, and that is just a well-liked celebrity.
No, it's not.
Can't call him Brian Foster.
It's Brian Faster. There
Sinclair.
we go.
How about... What was that?
Faster. It's Brian Faster.
Brian Faster.
Faster.
Excellent.
Well done, folks. You're
suck.
doing great.
We spent so long on this seating plan, we forgot to give Brian a surname.
Everyone else has a surname.
Except for like, one
Trisha
of the most
Sandwich
important
has a
characters.
surname, but Brian didn't.
Brian.
It's like Madonna, it's just Brian.
It's Brian M. Faster.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Brian Faster. An easygoing, devil-may-care, charismatic student that got along with everyone was tragically killed. And since then, the school has been closed. The kids have sort of drifted aimlessly through for the last 3 months. But today, the 17th of June, 2019, the school is reopening. It's coming up to the end of the school year, so they're trying to get the kids back in for the exams, basically. Especially the upper 6th, year 13. And we start our story at morning registration in the classroom where the upper 6th gather. Most of the group is here already, but there are 4 empty seats. 5 if you include Brian's, which isn't gonna fill. Yeah, let's include Brian's. There are 5 empty seats. First through the door, we have Nigel Pankhurst. Nigel, please introduce yourself.
Okay. Nigel was the boy who stuttered and stumbled his way through the introduce yourself to the class shtick every single time he has been called upon to do so. He has a slightly grown out mop of dirty blonde hair and is reasonably tall and lanky, but has his shirt is almost perpetually rolled up to around about the elbows because he has a keen interest in photography, especially the analog kind. And he's not ever really taken seriously the weird sort of in-between dress code that the school has with regards to not school uniform and yet business casual is just not something he's quite grasped yet. So he has had a variety of various different utterly inappropriate trousers over the course of his time here. Today, however, it's just a sort of black pinstripe pair that he's wearing.
We should mention this, as this is a UK secondary school, the 6th form, the general code of dress code, as you might say,
Yes.
if you were to use general English, is, sort of awkward office wear. It's always slightly oversized, slightly mismatched, no one really looks good.
Yeah, can't be jeans and t-shirt, but isn't actually school uniform.
Yeah, usually the ones that are attached to the school, they do awkward office wear. If you have a 6th form college that isn't attached to a school like I went to, you just don't have uniform. So it's a weird thing.
We were just the 6th form, there was no college. We were just school.
No, my school didn't have a 6th form. I went to a different one, so it was
we were
all
a
artsy
6th form as well. We just you just had an awkward experience of buying a suit for the first time and spending too much money.
I've just realised it's probably worth saying for friends overseas as well.
Yes.
People in 6th form are usually between
17, 18? Yes, 16
usually
to 18.
like 17 to 18.
Yeah.
Maybe they're 16 when they've just started, but we'd all be at least 17.
Because we're
I just feel like so it's not weird. We
End
should have
of
said
year
that.
13, so all but the youngest of you are 18 by now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Am I the only one here who didn't actually go to 6th form?
Yeah.
Yes.
It would appear so. Yeah, I left school at 17.
Your school was awesome though. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely.
Anyway, carrying on.
So,
He takes his normal seat at the back left-hand side of the class.
right next to a very awkwardly empty chair.
He does not look at it.
The whole room is quiet. Usually there'd be a hustle and bustle of chatter. People would be loud because no one wants to be in school first thing in the morning, so you make it known. But today it is quiet. Next through the door, we have Crow Williams.
So I will describe what Crow looks like first, and then I will describe what they do. So basically, Crow is kind of disheveled emo is the best way I can describe her. She's pretty tall, pretty skinny, pale. She has like the MySpace haircut. Does anyone know what I mean by that, or am I on my own here?
If you could print us a picture.
So basically, big old emo fringe going over one side of the face, and then at the top there's like these little tufty backcombed bits.
Oh god, that
and
is
then
the
at the
MySpace
bottom
hair.
it's like long and straightened,
Yes.
and like dyed black. It's the MySpace haircut.
I know that haircut.
And like proper.
Also, wow, we are dating ourselves.
We
are.
were all teenagers a while ago.
We were.
But this is 2019. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Time's different.
But yeah, it's whatever time zone we want it to be, right? Load of eyeliner that's like smudging down her face. Awkward office wear that is customized with various patches and band pins, fishnet tights, stripy socks that are like above the knee, skirt that's too small, long stripy arm warmers that are like black and white and from Claire's Accessories. There are probably some extraneous safety pins in there somewhere that just don't need to be there. And basically she kind of comes into the room like picking at the arm warmers, looking pretty distracted, like lost in her own thoughts, kind of cut off from the world. And she, before she can stop herself, looks over at Brian's chair. And then, as you would if somebody was sat next to the empty chair, she immediately looks over at Nigel and freezes. And forgets to move for a good, 10 seconds, almost. And if you were perceptive, you'd see plethora of emotions happening: shock, sadness, anger. And then she kind of remembers that she stood in front of the class and looks down and walks over to her desk, which is far right, but not quite the back, sat in front of a weird kid called Timothy Buchanan. And starts just feverishly, carving into a groove in the desk with a pen.
I think there's a strong enough reaction that I want you to roll to keep your cool.
Cool. Oh, this is early. What do I roll?
In this game, you have 4 stats, which are hot, cold, volatile, and dark. So I want you to roll using your cold stat, basically to maintain your cool in a situation that has unnerved you. For reasons we might or might not find out. So roll 2d6 and add your cool.
So that is rolled 9. My cold is -1, so that's an 8.
Okay, so you hold it together. But you are a little more vulnerable at the moment. So people acting strangely it'll attract your attention more, and you will react badly if people press you for information about why you're acting strange.
Cool. Yeah, just sits looks down at the desk. The hair kind of covers the face as she leans forwards. Her friends are sat nearby, but she doesn't talk to them.
They both sort of glance at you, but then look back down at sort of their desks. Stephanie sat in front of you, texts you, just, you okay, but doesn't glance over other than that. Dylan looks diagonally to the front, just staring at their desk. Face unreadable.
I look at Stephanie's text and just put the phone down and don't answer.
Stephanie sort of nods without turning around or otherwise reacting. And our final member of the group, well, the class. There are 2 empty. Anyway, Jules, please describe yourself. I can count.
Okay, Jules, full name Julian Cannon. They are mixed race, Chinese and white heritage, black hair, brown eyes, and their suit is particularly shitty. It's cheap, it's grey, slightly too big for them. It was bought on the premise of it being hard-wearing and thus likely to last a while. They have their tie loosened, their top button undone, because they have never in their life managed to find a shirt that actually fits properly around their neck. It's always like slightly too large or slightly too tight, and yes, this is a little bit autobiographical. They as they kind of stumble in, and it is a little bit of a stumble. They're kind of they're doing a thing where they're kind of like flicking one thumb against three fingers, one after the other. Just a nervous habit. They come in, kind of glance around the class. Their eyes are flickering. They're one of those people who's always had a particularly like a frantic energy to them, but it's a little stronger after the break. And as they are walking past Brian's seat, kind of staring at it for a moment, they glance to the side and they look to the left of Brian's seat and just stumble and very nearly just bump straight into Brian's seat, knocking it to the side a little bit.
Everyone in the
I think
room
Nigel would
turns
see
to
that.
look.
I look up, just like eyes flashing a little. What? Sit down, glance back once at Nigel, and just focus down at my desk.
Do you sit in Brian's seat, or do you sit in yours?
I sit on my seat. My seat is directly in front of Brian's.
Cool.
A couple of people hold their stares at you for a moment, but mostly they look back.
I'm just gonna fucking stare them down. Just like, just solid eye contact of what?
I think mostly they back down. I don't think we're going to need you to shut someone down here. They're backing down. It's not that big a fight for them. No one's looking
Nigel
for
just sort of
conflict
looks around
here.
like, what does it do?
I just resolutely ignore Nigel, occasionally tilting my head a little to the side and shaking it.
Crow keeps looking over at Nigel, like without meaning to. Just like, can't stop looking and then remembers she's looking and looks away.
As you're sat there, the final member of the class walks in. Well known to all of you. The oddly hench. I'm just reading these notes. Why have we written that? Class clown, the unfortunately named Piggy Pig, Philip Pig, who is Jules' closest friend. He doesn't look at you as he comes in, which is unusual. Piggy, it takes a lot to rattle him, but he is jumpy. He keeps twitching as though he's listening for something and not quite hearing it, and then looking down. He sits very quickly in his seat and does not look up.
I think I'm really into my own thoughts, and it takes like a good 3 minutes before I realise Piggy isn't cracking a joke or something. And just kind of talk over and whisper, "You alright?"
He sits up sharply, as though... how to describe that? He wasn't expecting to hear clear words. He's been listening out for something and suddenly he hears something. It was that sort of feeling of, oh god, there is something there. He looks over at you, sort of nods, and looks back down. This is unusual behaviour for him. This is not... Even with the circumstances, it's a little concerning.
When did I last see Piggy?
You saw him...
Because we sometimes play games together, like computer games and stuff. I think he might be part of the kickboxing school class, but we've not really been doing that because school's been off.
Yeah, those have been cancelled because they use the school hall. But you saw him a week ago, and he was fine. Like, unnerved by the situation about Brian, but it's not this kind of edgy. It was more the sort of overly talkative.
Yeah.
Like going on about, I can't believe that happened. You just don't think it will happen. That sort of the sort of rambling nerves or mourning that some people get. This is different. This isn't what you were expecting. As you're all sat there, though, one of the girls from the front row. Oh, I should check pronouns before everyone first. That's what I didn't do. I was going to ask for those. Just can I confirm your pronouns so I'm not getting them right? Not getting them right, getting them wrong. Wow.
Yeah, I guess we should
purposely get it
also,
wrong.
just in case anyone is listening who wanted to listen to a Monsterhearts special of something and doesn't normally listen to us, let's do ours as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that feels like a nice thing. So mine are she, her. Crows are she, they.
Lovely.
Mine are he, him, and Jules's are he, them.
Mine are he, him, and so are Nigel's.
Well, mine are she, they, and I will be playing everyone.
All of the pronouns for you.
All of the pronouns
So
for me.
all of them, all of the pronouns.
Strangely enough, everyone uses he, him. Everyone.
Every single person.
No, there will be a variety of pronouns. They are on. We have a thing called the seating chart that we are using, which is basically the class seating chart that we've written beforehand. It's a really useful tool. If you play Monsterhearts, I really recommend doing it in advance. Just showing who's in the class, some basic information about them, their pronouns, where they sit, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we
gives a good
we made that together, which was really fun.
And it gives
was
a
really
good
nice,
sense
yeah.
of who's in the society of the school. So as you're sat there, Chantel Grange, who sits in the front row in every class, stands up and sort of smiles nervously at the class and says, I know this is a really hard time, so I baked these cookies if anyone would want one. And she puts a big tray of cookies on the front desk.
I'm going to
Just sort of
throw a rolled up
smiles.
ball of paper at her. Because I'm a cunt.
It bounces off the side of her head, and she sort of giggles nervously. No, I suppose that's a fair reaction. We're all processing in our own way this awful, tragic event, and as you can see her raring up for a monologue, the door of the classroom opens, and in walks the headmaster.
I feel like a lot of shoulders drop in relief.
Yes,
so
there is a
many
collective
shoulders.
sigh of, oh, thank God. This was going to be awkward. And Mr. Fisher, known to you all as Fish, the headmaster, comes in and just goes, sit down, and Chantel does. All right. Upper Sixth, it's good to have you back. It's well, it's been a hard time. We've all had a chat with you all beforehand. We're reopening the school because, frankly, you've got your final exams coming up, and there was pressure too. So, if anyone needs a chat, as ever, my office door is open. There's not much more I can say. I mean, stay safe. Building work will be stopping until the summer holidays.
I just snorted, stay safe.
Yeah. Well, sounds a bit futile, doesn't it? I know. It's good to have you back. And we'll miss you when you've gone. God, that sounds awful, doesn't it, given the context? Right. I'm not good at speeches. I get deputy head to
I
write
text
the ones.
under the table to Piggy, fucking moron.
Piggy doesn't even look at his phone. It goes unread. Right, so I'm gonna go give this speech to half a dozen other year groups, and believe me, it's just gonna get more awkward, so yeah.
Just text Stephanie, like, this is comforting.
But genuinely, if you need someone to talk to, do find me. We have a school counsellor as well. I can set you up. This is not how we wanted to end your time here. Have a great last term. And he leaves. After that awkward speech. And it is... A bell goes. It is time to go to your first classes. And as everyone starts to move, Piggy stands up. And because of his strange behaviour, somehow that stops everyone in their tracks. Everyone's attention is drawn to Piggy, standing, still not looking up from his desk. And sort of a deep intake of breath, and he finally lifts his eyes. And you can see his eyes it looks like he's not slept in days. Right, we're going to be having a memorial for Brian. Yeah. Candles and that. Yeah, a memorial. Tonight, if you want to come. The edge of the forest.
What? Little freaked out by this. Kind of like open mouth as if to say something, and then just don't know where to start with that.
You know that pond? The edge? Thought it'd be nice to maybe say some words or something.
The one they once threw a fish in and it just died. Like the whole pond just got covered with scum. That pond.
Well, maybe I'll see you there. And he just walks out. He's not really responded to anyone else's reactions.
Crow
He's
is
gone.
Still sort of hair over face, leaning over the desk, looking over at Nigel every now and then. But if anyone were looking, I don't know if they are up to you. Couple of drops of water onto the desk. She wipes her eyes. It's small, but
probably, now that Piggy's brought me out of my reverie, I probably do notice that frown and try to follow your eye line back to Nigel.
Nigel will be leaning forward, trying to talk to the girl in front, Sue, saying, Did he speak to you? He didn't speak to me. Did he?
I've heard nothing about this. This is the first I've heard of it. And I mean, I would have thought he'd talk to me, because I could have written something, and I haven't. So it's going to be a rush now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'd appreciate whatever you wrote. He was always very encouraging.
He was.
And
yeah,
you see Nigel's sort of slightly rocking a little bit, like he's got a bit of pent up nerves, but also just nowhere to put it.
Crow again looks over, and there is venom when he is complimenting Brian.
I'm kind of looking over and just seeming to twig that Nigel and Sue are even having a conversation, and finding that, and there's just like a slightly freaked out look before I just turn my head back down and start packing my book for class. My books.
I'm going to ask Stephanie and Dylan, I assume as we're all packing our books. Do you know anything about Memorial?
Dylan shrugs, which is nearly, that's pretty articulate for Dylan.
Pretty standard, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a soliloquy.
That's practically a monologue. Stephanie frowns. I don't think so. No one mentioned one.
Were he and Piggy even that close?
Never saw them together. Not really.
No, me neither.
I mean, you were... And Brian, you were friendly, weren't you? I'm sorry, I don't want to pry, but you don't hide things well.
Yeah, we knew each other.
And Nigel, I mean, he didn't seem to know anything either, and they've sat next to each other in every class for years.
Yeah, they were pretty close.
Huh. And yet Piggy? No, it doesn't. I mean, death affects people differently, so maybe he's just processing this way, I don't know.
What is there to process if you weren't close to someone?
She just shrugs.
And why the forest? Did he even like the forest?
I don't know, I didn't really know him. Not much. I mean, you want to talk to Piggy about this if you... I can't answer these questions.
That's fair.
So, the bell has rung. You can go to your classes. If there's anything you'd want to do in the classes, particular, let me know. Otherwise, we can skip through time.
I'm actually going to hang outside the study room until Nigel comes out.
Right.
I was gonna go and honestly, I'm not going to class. I'm
Nah, who's
going
going to class? Realistically.
I'm gonna go and freak out and have a cigarette out the back.
I mean, it's Chantel. That's the answer. Chantel's going
Chantel's going to class and no one else is.
Yeah. As we leave the classroom, Nigel would pause by Brian's desk. I assume it's just like those modern individual desks with like the little slat of plastic to actually write on in front. Are they those types of desks?
Basically, they're tables. They're nothing more fancy than that.
Right,
You
okay.
have lockers that you store things in, but these are just the place you sit in this one registration room, really.
All right. He's gonna put his hand on the table for a moment, then just run his fingers over the top, and there's a couple of little indentations in it that he knows Brian made possibly the last time he sat there, and afterwards he's gonna go.
As you come out, I'm immediately just going to peel off the wall I've been leaning on and walk by you, just like a little bit uncomfortably close. Hello, Nigel.
Jules?
How's your last few weeks been?
Oh,
Eyes narrowed, flickering.
you know, pretty shit, actually, but, you sort of survive, don't you?
Draw long pause.
Can I make an offer here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a cigarette in the stairwell. I would love to be in earshot of this.
You are very welcome to be in earshot of this.
Because I just think it's more fun.
How far have you gone? If you're just in the
Not that
stairwell,
far.
great. There's
I
a
think
stairwell that's got a sort of broken window that's never been fixed, so it is used by every student who smokes as a place to go.
yeah.
Yeah. Surviving.
Look, what do you want me to say? What, like, yeah, my best friend died. How do you think I'm doing?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. You go for any walks in the woods recently? Like, I don't know, 7 weeks ago?
He sort of racks his brains. And so. Maybe I've had a lot of time on my own, to be honest. Even when I've been around people. I did go to the woods a couple of times. Yeah. Why do you ask?
No reason. Jules is looking at you like you're like you're an alien or something. There's just something vaguely... I mean, Jules always looks a little angry, but there's a sort of anger, confusion that's... like the confusion is powering the anger. Did you go for a walk with Brian at all?
Yeah, occasionally, but I think he more sort of preferred, I don't know, going down to the Green or trying to get served in the Winston Churchill. You know, he always could. I never had the confidence.
You don't need confidence, you just need a fiver.
Huh, good to know.
Serve anyone. Like, don't get me wrong, they'll talk shit about slitty-eyed chopsticks in my face, but they'll serve me.
Fuck. Well, yeah, there were always a load of old wankers in there.
This pub is based on a real pub. It was super racist.
It was
awful.
massively...
It was demolished. We are all so happy.
Yeah, it's flat now, but it was a scarily racist and homophobic pub that basically...
awful.
Everyone on their first week of drama school would be like, oh, a pub in the new town that I live in. And you'd go in once and then you'd leave and you'd never go back. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah, very unsafe experience drinking in the Winston Churchill.
Please continue with your scene.
Yeah. There was also usually some poor drama school students who would get the flat above it and not know what they were getting into. It was awful. It was so bad. Please carry on.
No, that was important content.
yeah. There's just... Right. Well, maybe I'll go to... You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go to that thing Piggy's doing tonight. Maybe you should come with.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, although it just... It's weird, like, you know how something happens, right, and you think you're over it, and then just the tiniest little thing makes it all like it just happened again.
Yeah.
That's been me the entire time.
Yeah, like you're just about getting to terms with it, and then someone walks back into your life who shouldn't be there.
I am going to attempt to keep my cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just almost openly hostile.
Yeah.
Yeah, please roll for that.
Okay, so if I have this correct, I roll 2d6 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a 5.
You choke up, and this brings up the fun thing you have of unresolved trauma. You don't know why, but something is trying to bring itself to the front of your memory, and you don't know what it is. You are choked up, you can't respond, and you freeze up.
I gain the traumatized condition.
Yes, you do.
And because teenagers are assholes, I'm going to double down on this.
Okay.
Did you do it? Was it you?
At this moment, a teacher who has been hovering just out of earshot further down the corridor wanders up to you. You recognise Mr. Sim, the school counsellor.
I'm just going to, like, I don't know if I've... No, I'm going to say that I was, like, I didn't done that thing where you, like, put an arm... Like, I'm not touching you, but I've got an arm against the wall just over your shoulder, invading your personal space, and I just pull back.
Okay.
I'll see you at lunch.
Boys, yes, I just wanted a quick word with you, Mr. Pankhurst. I just want you to know that my door is open. I know that you were close with Brian, who has unfortunately passed on, and then you were there.
He winces at the term.
You were there with him when he passed on, and This is a teacher who has not noticed how badly you have frozen up. This is not a good school counsellor.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to go, but I'm going to stay because of that. Because there's something I want to do to this man.
Okay.
And it was a tragic accident. And I just want you to know that I am here for you in any capacity, any professional capacity that I can. And
He's nodding, but not at anything in particular.
and that goes to all of your classmates too, Mr. Canner? Mr. Canner, yes. And,
Just Jules is fine. No, mister.
oh, it's good that he has a supportive friend like you.
Very.
Keep an eye on him, and through this difficult time, it's hard to lose people we're close to.
Yes, it is, sir.
That's all I wanted to say. And good luck. No, not good luck. What am I saying? And he just walks off. Sort of
As he walks
to
off,
himself.
I'd like to do the thing where you trip someone up, like you just put your foot just in the way that they trip up a little bit.
I'm gonna rule this as a shutting someone down move.
Oh, I was hoping to lash out
Because then you have
physically.
to. I mean, you can, if you want to hurt him.
Nah, this is more
Depends on-
shutting down.
Is this a embarrass or an injure?
This is embarrass. I don't
Then
want
it
to actually
shuts
hurt
someone
them.
down. Yeah.
Ho 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 ho! 5.
Oh, no, hun.
He doesn't so much like you get in his way a bit. He interprets it as you want a hug, and he goes in for the hug.
Oh, God.
Like, given who I am. Yeah, no, take the brave choice. Given who I am, now I'm lashing out physically. I'm going to shove him off.
Okay, roll for that.
You're fighting a teacher, and we're about 20 minutes in. Hello.
So that's
said
5
embrace
plus
melodrama.
2. So that's so it's a 7. So yeah. Do I choose one of the downsides?
You do. You choose. It says, yeah, you harm them, but choose one. Yeah, choose what you want.
Oh.
They're all really fun.
I think maybe. Oh God, no. The more interesting choice is you decide how bad the harm turns out from shoving them.
Okay. I thought you'd choose that one. So you shove him. He falls. He smacks his head. He's unconscious.
Oh fuck!
God.
Okay, I'm going to come out of my hiding place for that. That's my
I just like bite my fist, just like.
I don't know
fuck!
what to do, but I... What the fuck, Jules?
It was getting close, and
You fucking... I'm going to see if he's breathing.
I just like
Can I-
pull
He
away.
is breathing. He is. Like, there is a big bruise forming. He
Jesus
is a completely
Christ, what
bald
if he has a
man,
concussion?
and you can see the bruise forming at the back of his head.
I'm going to put
Can I
him in the
just
recovery
double-check
position.
something? Yeah.
Like, really
Yeah.
awkwardly. Is that how the recovery position's supposed to look?
He's kind of like
I think
fetal.
so.
That seems safe, right?
Yeah, I have. I just like freeze up a bit, like.
What's happening
Go
here?
on.
At the end of the corridor, you see the physical education teacher and kickboxing instructor, Miss McMurdo.
I'm going to hurriedly stuff my cigarette out under my heel because it's still hanging out of my mouth.
Yeah, because that's the big problem here.
But I feel like you still would. You know?
What's happened here?
Oh,
He
Miss.
slipped and fell.
Yeah, he fell.
That's what happened.
Yeah, he slipped. I bumped into him, and he just.
Yeah, he
In
tripped
an
over
empty
Jules.
corridor. It's the first day back. Really?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I just got in his way, and
These things never happen at a convenient
No,
time,
they
do they?
don't. Look,
I'm sorry, miss, it was an accident.
I'm sure it was. But maybe perhaps you should all take the rest of the day off. This might not... I will cover as best as I can for you, but I will get the story from him. And I want to have a talk with you all tomorrow. But for today, maybe it's just best if you just aren't around. Tensions are high, and I'd hate for you to mess up your future because of a stupid mistake, Jules.
Yes,
I wasn't
miss.
even here until the last second. I just put him in the fucking recovery position, but fine. I'll go too.
Would you like
Fine.
a day off?
Yes.
Then please take a day off. I will sort this. But Jules, you need to stay away. Jules, you hear a voice echo in your head. It sounds like her voice again. Just stay away.
Yes, miss. I just sort of pull my bag close to me and storm off to the sort of, well, I guess it's because it's attached to a secondary school playground.
Yeah. You are sort of the top floor of this building is the sixth floor.
Yeah.
But you still have most of your classes in the normal classes. All the science labs are the same for the rest of the school. It's just that you have your own sort of study areas at the top. So there is one route out the school, really, from here.
Which, that interestingly leaves me and Brian stood in a... Not Brian, Nigel. So I don't know why I'm getting the names Brian and Nigel
I
mixed
get them
up. They're the
so
same
mixed
name
up.
in my head.
There is backstory that only happens because I've mixed up the names previously.
As Jules leaves, I will say just loud enough for him to hear. Like, this is where your self-reliance gets you.
No. Ooh, I don't know if I'd keep my cool.
Roll. That's what dice are for.
I wanted to double check
Yep.
though. Does having the traumatized condition, does it have any marked effect on mechanically what I'm rolling?
They usually roleplay, aren't they, in this one?
Yes.
That's
Conditions tend
fine.
to be
I just
role-
wanted to clarify
but they
that.
are
That's
things
all I
that
needed.
people are aware of. Other people are aware of this condition. It is not... You will react badly to things and people will notice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I.
This is me reacting badly.
Yeah, that was definitely a fail, and I just
Every
before.
time you fail, do take experience.
Oh yeah, and as he
Forgetting to remind you.
as he does that, I can't help it. I just turn around, spit, and then storm out.
Excellent.
Possibly you might get a string on me. I'm not sure how that works.
Let's see. Ooh.
I did see what actually happened.
Doesn't say anything about it there, but
Yeah,
I think it plays into another one you've already got. So
cool. Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna leave it as
Fair enough.
You have so many strings on him already.
Oh god, everyone has
many.
strings on me.
Yeah, Jules.
It's a problem.
Like-
Do remember you can use these strings
Yep.
to add
That's
to your rolls or do
sort
more
of what I
harm
was
or
doing.
whatever.
That's sort of what I was doing, although really it was just what Nigel would say at that point, I think.
Right, the other two of you, what are you going to do? You're stood with an unconscious teacher.
I think my shoulder blades are trying to dig their way through the wall.
I think I'm at the other wall. That's the same thing I was picturing. And just staring at... I mean, looking down at the teacher now and then, but honestly, the main focus of the gaze is Nigel, just looking at him with a mixture of shock and revulsion and anger and occasional bits of relief. There's, like, a lot going on in how I'm looking at you.
You do still also
Okay.
have the kickboxing PE teacher there who is correcting your recovery position and trying to bring the teacher round. It might not be the best place for a conversation.
Miss, should we go?
Yes.
Bye!
Nigel will go.
Just leave. I just start leaving.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for this to see if it just spontaneously happens that I end up leaving in the same direction you do.
There is only one real way out from where you are.
Oh, in which
Oh,
case
it's also
then I
more
will...
There is a
fun
main
if you do.
staircase. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an awkwardly long corridor that we have to walk down together. Like,
And then 2 flights of stairs.
yep. Oh no.
What a prick.
Yeah.
What a prick.
Arsehole.
And Jules isn't much better. He sort of starts laughing and then almost has to stop himself from crying.
Are you alright?
A lot of people have asked me that, and I am honestly not sure. I'm as alright as I suppose could be expected. Although I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you're pretty bloody close to him, weren't you?
Yeah, you could say that. It's just... It...
Closer than me, it seemed.
Well, I don't know. He really did get on with everyone. He talked about you a lot.
Oh, nice.
All good things, you know.
He never talked about you. Not once.
He looks a little bit hurt by that. But then he says, well, I suppose we'll see who all of his real friends were by who turns up at the memorial that Piggy's holding then. You know, there's an awful lot of bullshit that flies around the place.
Wasn't under the impression you were friends.
Well,
There's inverted commas around the friends. I think you heard them, but
yeah.
You do the air quotes.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But if you want to call it that,
look, does it really matter anymore?
yes.
Well,
I am
look,
glad you're all right, though.
yeah, and if you're worried about that, look, nothing happened, okay?
Yes, it did.
So you exit the school into the playground, where Jules is still hanging about. At this point, he won't have fully left.
Just sort of sat on a bench going, fuck.
Where were you that night?
I hung out with him for a little while beforehand, but the first I heard about it was the following day. We were hanging out near Epping Forests, and then I had to go home. He said he was going to swing by the pub. That was the last I saw of him.
You are still traumatized, so this is not a convincing story. You are shaking, you are not making eye contact.
Yeah.
She kind of like shifts slightly. Her stance gets less tense, and she kind of looks up and makes full eye contact, like head slightly cocked to one side and sort of purposely soft expression. She just says, "You know, you can tell me, right? I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not going to judge."
Roll to turn someone on.
Yay! Yes, this is a thing you can do in Monsterhearts if you're not familiar with it. It's excellent.
It is the opposite of shutting someone down.
It's not amazing, despite how hot I am. It's a 9.
Okay.
Actually, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah. So they can choose. They either give you a string, or you can choose one. They choose one reaction. So,
Okay.
Sam, you've got the options of, I give myself to you, I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward.
I've been doing that already, but
We'll give them a string.
Or you can give them a string.
I think I get embarrassed and act awkward. How that would manifest is he sort of looks to one side and says, "Look, I just don't want to talk about it, right? It's still fresh, and every time someone brings it up, and that's been pretty much all anyone has done since it happened, it's like I'm going through it again."
Just wanted to talk about it with someone who was actually close to him.
What?
I mean, he got on with everyone, but
Yeah.
wasn't close to that many people.
Yeah, well, I think it's whatever there was between us, it's sort of doesn't really matter now, does it?
Yes, it does. I think it matters.
All right. So,
I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder. And sort of move a little bit closer. And just say, look, we were close, you were close. I just feel like there's more to the story than people are saying, and I want to know, and you can tell me. I'm not gonna tell anyone. So I'd like to pull a string on him, because I'm trying to tempt him to do what I want, which is tell me more about that evening.
Okay, so...
I don't know how that presents roleplay-wise, because I don't know this game, but yeah.
They will gain an experience point if they do what you want. So, if you
okay.
tell her what she wants to hear, or wants to know, not what she wants to hear, because that would possibly be lying. If you tell her, you will gain experience for it.
Sort of sink down a little bit and sit. I'm kind of picturing that on the outside of this school there's like a load of plant beds.
Yeah, they're the sort of ones that are almost benches, they're like the thick edge, yeah.
Yeah, I sit down on one of those.
I sit next to you and put a hand, on your forearm.
Okay.
So it's not too invasive, but there's contact.
Yeah. And I say, look, we'd been close, but nothing had happened for a while.
But it happened before.
No, it was... I was never sure, but yet in some ways I just never doubted it. And...
Right?
And you... I didn't think I even really registered for him half the time. But I could tell that he liked me.
He liked everyone.
Yeah, and yeah, he was always a bit of a rebel, so he...
Yeah, it was.
I think it was part of the thrill for him, the chances of getting caught.
Doing things in you would upset other people.
I guess.
rebel isn't always a nice word.
Jules, as you're sat there, sort of half overhearing the conversation because you're not that far away, you hear that whispered in your ear again. Interrupt. Stop this.
I'm going to stand up. Come over. Crow, you got a fag?
Yeah. I hand you a Marlboro menthol because we're classy. Oh, it's bad.
Kind of put it in my mouth.
Oh, like the lighter. It's one of those it's a Zippo lighter, but she's like fucking engraved it with a compass herself with like like a shit skull on it. Like have the lighter.
I'll just light it.
I light one as well.
Yeah.
As you're all suddenly brought back into the present a little bit more, you notice there is someone else out here in the playground, stood in the gates of the school, staring outwards to the road. You can see Piggy. He's just been stood there the whole time,
doing?
just staring out.
Pigs?
Doesn't respond.
Is your mate, isn't he? Is he alright?
He's been acting weird. Like,
I mean,
we've all been acting weird, but...
It's a weird day.
Give a glare at Nigel for a moment, and then sort of shake my head. Yeah.
Physical contact with Nigel has been thoroughly removed as soon as somebody else is in the situation, by the way.
So, weird fucking day. Pigs, what are you looking at?
Doesn't respond still.
Toss you the lighter back. Walk
Thanks.
over. Hey, Piggy! Piggy, come on. I'll go up to him.
Piggy, do you want a fag?
He sort of turns, like, coming out of a daze, like he's been staring at something internally. Like, he's brought back into the present. Oh, yeah. I've got to be somewhere.
Probably classmate.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be it. And he just starts walking away out the school.
Should we, like... This is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, Pigs, wait up! I'm gonna follow after him.
Jules, you hear the whisper again. Stop him.
Hey, Pigs! I'm gonna reach out and put his hand on his shoulder. Where are you going?
I've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta be in class.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, come on. I want to try and guide him back.
He's reluctant, but he sort of isn't resisting you.
Yeah, it's alright.
Pull him back inside the school grounds.
I'll sort of chivvy him to... Like, what class you got, Pigs? I mean, it's probably whatever class I should be at, so...
I don't know. Is it maths? I take maths, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you, me and... well, actually, Crow as well. We do statistics.
We got off class because you pushed a teacher.
I didn't mean to shove him. He just shouldn't have tried to, like, bear hug me.
I've got to be somewhere. And he starts trying to move back out the gates.
Whoa.
What direction is he going?
He didn't get very far.
Like, where is he going
He got
towards?
out the gate, but he didn't turn in a direction yet. So it's hard to say.
Ah, okay.
Ooh. Pigs,
Yeah?
you're right.
Yeah. I've got to be somewhere. Yeah.
Where?
I don't know.
You setting up the memorial?
Yeah.
We can
The
help.
woods, that's it. The memorial. This was a circle.
Well, I guess...
Would you mind if
What?
I went with
What?
It
you?
was a pond. We're having a memorial at a pond.
You didn't say pond, you said circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go to the
Jeez.
pond.
What about the circle?
Jules, you just hear Jules, you hear a voice in your head that just goes, no.
No. Let's not do that. That's... We don't need to be wandering off to the woods now.
Yeah, it's not safe in there.
Yeah.
Never know what sort of, dodgy weirdos you're going to get in the woods around here.
No. It's not. Just come back to school. Pigs.
Pond would be alright, that's, at the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we should.
Robbie is the pond at the edge.
The pond is at the edge, but as
Yeah.
you're thinking about it, you feel like it is the right place to be. The woods. If he needs to be in the woods are where he should be.
Well, I feel like that.
Yeah, you don't really know why, but there's sort of it's a certainty that's suddenly there.
Do I want to go with him, or? I mean, is that up to me? I guess.
That's up to you. It's not part of it, but you feel like he needs to be in the woods.
Jules, I think if he wants to go to the woods, you should let him go to the woods. We're all having a weird day. Maybe he wants a walk.
No. Hear that?
No, Look, it's. I just don't feel comfortable about Piggy going into woods like
I don't think you have a say on where Piggy goes or doesn't go.
I don't want to be a problem. I've got to be somewhere.
Piggy, you just go to the woods.
No, Piggy, don't go to the woods.
Would it be alright if I went as well?
Well, if you're going, I'm going.
Well, I think for a moment about whether they should go to the woods.
How deeply are you thinking about it? Would you say you were perhaps gazing into some form of abyss looking for an answer?
I think perhaps yes. Maybe I am gazing into the abyss.
Come on, give me a roll for that.
Okay, let me roll dark. Sort of. Ho 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 ho! That is a 5. I'm rolling
Shame.
terribly.
Wow.
More experience. I don't get any clear senses.
That's a great shame. That would have been fun.
Although, no, I didn't think to. Oh, that would have been a fine
No,
moment to have the power
gain
flow through me, but I
experience.
didn't think of it.
But you don't find an answer.
There's a definite stare off between you and me, Crab.
I just look at all the bits of your clothes that don't fit right in turn.
Roll shutting each down against each other. And this will influence how
Yes.
Piggy responds in this moment.
8.
I would like to pull a string on Jules and add one to my roll and get.
Yep.
So what am I rolling?
2d6.
It's cold.
It's just 2d6 plus nothing for it.
Cold.
Cold. Okay. No, that's still 8. Actually, I'm gonna still pull the string.
Okay.
With my cold stat, it's still 8, so we are equal.
But you have pulled a string on me, so
I have.
I kind of feel like I'd lose that.
Yeah, there is another thing that is adding to the fact that Piggy wants to listen to Crow. There is another influence here that you are, as characters, unaware of.
Unaware of.
Could I try and work out why he's acting like this? Is there any possible indication or way that I would know?
The only way that you're going to get an answer is gazing into the abyss. If you would like to try that.
Yes.
I think, to be honest, yeah. So,
Roll dark.
just looking at that. Yep, I have that much to say. Okay, that's a 7. No, that's an 8.
Okay. Confusing and alarming visions it is. Okay, so you get flashes of the forest, and you know when it is. You know it's that night. 23rd of March. You know the time. It's 21:58. You know that time because that is the time of the accident.
Right.
But this isn't where it happened. This is the forest. And you're seeing flashes of movement through trees, dark figures, and a stone circle, and a figure on their knees, sobbing. And a flash, and they're gone, and instead there's 2 crumpled bodies. Yours and Brian's. And there's a flash, and they're gone. And it's just just Brian's. And there's an emptiness where there should be someone else. And then there's a flash to Piggy staring out at the woods. And then it's back to you're back.
It's probably at this moment that this staring contest going on, I finally look away.
Come on, pigs. Let's go to the woods.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I'm needed somewhere. Yeah.
Right. Let's go then.
Has he
Fuck, I'm going to follow after them.
has he ever been to the woods before?
Who? Piggy?
Yeah. I was asking.
Oh,
the
you're
other
asking
two.
character. Okay.
You were asking character.
sorry,
I thought
yes.
it was DM question.
This is a good point. From my knowledge of Piggy's past habits,
Yeah, you
Piggy
know.
is not
is he
outdoorsy.
one for Woodley Walk?
No,
I don't
he's
see
Like,
that.
he works weights at
He
home.
works out at the gym. He doesn't go in the woods.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, Piggy, Piggy's not really a woodland creature. Wouldn't exactly call him a wild boar. And just a little bit, Piggy, I'm a little bit concerned if you go into the woods tonight, you're sure for a big surprise.
You did not just say that, did you?
Really?
Sorry.
I've been there sometimes. Like they've got some interesting sycamores I like to photograph.
Oh no, especially
is
considering
the
how much
lamest
good
shit
stuff
I've
there
ever
is in
heard.
Epping. Just
Nothing
saying.
wrong with the sycamore.
That's like out of all
Deer
the
and
things you could take
terrapins,
pictures
birds of prey, foxes, badgers, ancient
Yeah,
oak.
like
Imagine we're like
interesting
all
toads.
walking with Piggy now.
Newts.
Yeah.
As a little bit of like competition, I'm almost trying to like walk ahead of Nigel and be like following Piggy more closely than he is.
Nigel, as you... not Nigel, sorry. Jules, as you are walking, you hear that voice again. No. And you see, for a moment, the world changes and everything is sort of deep green leaves and forest, and there is just blood dripping down Piggy's back. And then it's back to normal.
Pigs, you really... I've got a very bad feeling about this, Pigs.
Why?
Wouldn't trust his instincts, Pigs. He's not got much about him. Is that shutting someone down? That might be.
If that is your intention, if you're trying to, do it.
Yeah,
then.
it is.
Roll it.
I want to freak him out because I know the history that we have together. I want to like do a low blow. Ooh, hun. That is a 10.
Choose one of the things from below. They lose a string. Gain if they have no strings on you. You could gain one, or they gain a condition, or you could take one.
I do have one string on you.
So,
What do you mean take one forward?
it means you can add one to a roll relating to them later on.
Okay. What are the conditions? I'm sorry, there's like loads of questions.
Conditions are quite up to
Broad.
you. You could make him. Here maybe he's untrustworthy, and that's how people will see him, because that's what you've implied, or that. Yeah, basically, how do you want people to see him based on what you're saying?
I want him to look weak.
Then that is
Condition weak.
I want him to look weak and off-center and like he's not saying anything of consequence. I want him to look weak.
He does.
I just sort of choke up, just like...
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Crow, you feel a sort of...
Shouldn't be missing maths. You need the extra
Crow, you
classes.
feel a sort of a warmth in you, like something was right here. This was good. This is going right. Sort of like a green warmth inside you.
I'm going to link my arm with Piggy.
He
If he lets
doesn't
me,
resist.
obviously. Start walking.
He's still a bit distant. Yeah.
I'm just going to narrow my eyes at her back and just those little inner voices that are just part of my thoughts, like the little flickering voices, just let them rise for a moment. Uncanny voices, if you will.
Yes. So
And feel myself.
something gains a power. Gains a string on you.
Yeah, I feel something creep in. But you may choose, Crow, whether I learn a secret fear, a secret desire, or a secret strength.
Oof. What's more fun? Where's your intention? That's kind of what I want to ask.
I want to hurt you.
Fear.
What fear do I learn?
How specific is that? What is it?
I think it's kind of up to you.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna roll odds or evens. I have two that'd be interesting. Okay. I'm afraid that Brian never loved me,
Okay.
but I didn't mean anything.
Okay.
So I think that's interesting to give you.
I'm going to hold on to that.
Fun.
So fun.
Yeah, I just hear whispers just in my head, just telling me that.
That also tells you that
Yeah.
there was something
Yeah.
going on, so I figured it was quite a lot to give you, which is fun.
Nigel, how are you reacting to all of this?
There is a lot of what I would describe as like internal accounting going on with Nigel. His eyes are sort of darting backwards and forwards, making connections. And finally, he sort of straightens up and says, "You know, Brian also hung out with you a fair lot, Crow. What did you do together?"
Talked.
Yeah?
Smoked.
Nothing of consequence then.
No.
Played stupid music.
Right.
Spent time.
I guess he did that with a lot of people. He always
Yeah, I guess he did that with everyone, yeah.
had time for people.
Everyone loved Brian.
As you're walking, your phones all buzz. And there is a message through... I'm going to decide that the school has some form of messaging service that comes to your phones because, fine, why not? I don't know how schools work. There is a message.
Yeah.
They probably do nowadays, to be honest. Like, that's probably a
I've been to
thing.
school for 15 years.
Same.
Not quite that long, but not far off. But yeah, so there is a message from the headmaster directly to you four saying, I have heard about the incident earlier. If you could all come back to school, I think we need a conversation.
Right. So,
Jules, you also get a message from Miss McMurdo that just says "don't," and you hear echoed in your mind, "Don't."
Fuck 'em. Let's keep going.
if we all claim we didn't see it, they can't really say that we did.
It's a bloody text message. It's not like it's a messenger program. They're not going to know we've read it.
That's my thought.
True. Alright, how's this? You let Piggy do what he wants. I won't tell anyone that I saw you injure a teacher this morning.
Are you trying to pull a string? It feels like you're
How's
pulling
that
a
for
string.
a prompt? I'm
Ooh.
trying to do a fey promise. I don't know
Do
what
that.
that means.
That sounds fun.
That's what I want. I only get like fey things if they break it, basically. But I'm being so pointed about it because promises are like a huge thing, basically. But I guess I could pull a string to do that.
Or you could just hope that he agrees.
What's more fun? I think I don't know.
So you're basically threatening me. If you'll keep quiet about us seeing the messages. If
Now I will keep quiet about you pushing a teacher over to the point where he was concussed.
Okay.
If you let Piggy come to the woods.
Fine.
That's a promise.
As the promise is made, you get a second text. It's the same message from Miss McMurdo. It could just be a double send, but it says it again. Don't. And you hear that echo. Yeah.
Is that just Jules that gets that?
Did we all get the first text? Don't.
You got the message. No, you don't get. No, only Jules got the don't.
Okay, right, fine.
But we all got that
Yeah,
first.
okay,
Come back
fine.
to school.
Yes.
I've already said fine now.
Yeah, the deal's made.
Yeah.
Where would you like to go?
Again, Link arms with Piggy. Come on, pigs. Let's go to the
Yeah.
woods.
Oh, I mean, yeah. The woods. We've got that,
Yeah.
there's a memorial, yeah, and there's the circle.
Yeah, the circle.
What's
Yeah, what's this? All this about a
it's a
circle?
pond, isn't it? There's a pond.
There's a pond and there's a circle.
Wait, what?
What are you going to do when you get there? Like, are you going to light candles, or are you going to, get people to hold hands,
There's,
or what?
candles will say some poems and words. There are words that's said, and remember, and there's a debt to pay, and then we'll maybe, I don't know, sing a song or something, and then what?
A
It's
debt to
about
pay.
a debt.
Yeah,
I
what?
don't know. What? Did I?
You said a debt to pay. Yeah. Like to
No,
who?
I don't know anything
Brian?
about debt. Honestly, I've got to be somewhere. Yeah, I've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, you said that.
Let's go.
Sullen about it, but I go with them.
And just, maintaining some sort of casual contact with Piggy the whole time.
You walk further towards the woods. It takes a while. Housing estates, the same houses over and over again, until you reach slightly fancier houses. You are now officially in Loughton rather than Debden, and suddenly
Oh.
there is money, but
It's where the
taste
new
has
money
gone out
lives.
the window. But as you read through these,
It's like there's like 3 bronzing places in a
Oh,
row.
5 tanning shops in Loughton, hun.
Wow.
Don't underestimate Loughton.
but you weave between the houses and you find yourself in an open sort of park space and at the bottom of the hill is the first trees leading into the woods, into the forest. As you're walking, Jules, you can feel this sense of foreboding growing, and you just keep hearing that echo of don't in your mind. Whereas Crow, the certainty that this is right grows with every step.
Is there like a calm to it?
Yeah, there's a moment of almost righteousness that something is going to be completed here. This is right. It's a feeling you had for a flash of 7 weeks ago. I think you know which moment I mean.
Yeah. I am... From the, linked arm, again, if he permits me, I, slide a hand down Piggy's arm and, hold hands, linked fingers with him, and the walk just gets, slightly more upbeat.
He doesn't resist, but it's a very... it's almost unaware. He's not really noticing how you're responding. Nigel...
Good place, the woods.
Nigel, there's a weird coldness growing in your chest as you're walking. A sense of trepidation that you don't know what's causing it, but it is strong.
Okay.
By this point, having kind of essentially been banished backwards from the two walking in front, I'm with Nigel at this point. There's something wrong about this. I don't trust it. Why is he acting like this? Why is she so insistent we go to the woods?
See that flash of blood again, just for an instant.
I feel like something is very bad is going to happen if we go to the woods.
Alright, well, I'm not entirely sure what Piggy's doing, but if we say to go to the pond specifically and not this circle he keeps mentioning, I suppose going to the woods, doing what he said he set out to do, and not doing whatever Crow wants to do.
Yeah, not doing what Crow wants to do is a great plan.
Crow, on the other hand, is murmuring to Piggy, quietly into one ear. You been to the circle before, Piggy?
No. What circle? Is there a circle?
The one in the woods. You wanted to go there, remember?
Yeah, there are woods. I've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, the circle.
Balance is... Yeah. We've got that memorial.
Balance?
Yeah, there's a memorial and there's candles. Sue's going to read a poem.
Yeah, tell me more about the balance.
Oh, I don't know anything about balance. It's,
You do, you said it.
I mean, I've got terrible balance. I have, yeah, I don't know. But I've got to be somewhere.
There's a circle, Piggy.
Completed. With the...
Do we hear any of this?
Yeah, he's not particularly quiet. There's a...
Yeah.
I am, but...
Yeah, he's not. I don't know, they keep talking about this circle.
So when we get to the pond, do you have tea lights, or are you gonna put them in those are they those long candles that you can put in those plastic cups?
No, I've got an app.
Oh right, yeah, of course.
That's so shit.
We're all gonna do the little.
That's the saddest
app.
memorial. Just on phone screens with pretend candles while this girl reads this terrible, terrible poem.
Oh yeah, I'm on.
That's so sad.
I mean, I'm on.
I'm on.
Wow. Ooh. Oh dear.
That's the shittest thing.
Right. Wow.
Coming soon to the Play Store. I am on.
Oh god. It does all of it. Reads eulogy. Anyway.
I think. Oh god. So I'm kind of going to. It's a circle of stones. Nigel, have you ever seen a circle of stones in the woods? You say you used to go there for photography.
Yeah.
Nigel, you've never seen one in person, but you saw it in that flash of a vision just now. That's the first time you've seen it. But you know that's the one he means.
I've not been there myself, but I think that there is a...
Bullshit, you haven't. Okay. I'm going to pull a string. I'm going to... so this is one of my 2 strings on Nigel. And this one is... so I suppose this is... String? I want to tempt them... I want them to tell me that they've been there. I want to know whether I'm just going insane or not. So I want them to tell me that they were there. I want them to confirm this that I'm not just going mad. I'm going to say, I saw you there. I saw you there with Brian. And then suddenly he turns up at a construction site. You're gone. And now you're all back. What the hell happened?
Okay, so you want me to tell you what happened at the construction site?
No, I want you to tell me whether or not you were there. I want you to tell me that you were there at that circle.
Right. Was I in actuality ever? I don't think I was.
To tell the truth, you weren't.
I guess, in which case the answer is tell the truth. Yeah.
Okay. Look, I've never been there. Okay. I heard about it. I think I saw a picture of it once, but it wasn't something that I ever actually found. It wasn't really something that I was hugely interested in when I was visiting. But I mean, if this is something that is...
I get a haunted look as you say this, because I believe what you're saying, and it's just like...
Nigel, you do have because you will be gaining experience and he is using a string, you do have the option here to tell him about what you saw just now. Okay. That would come under this.
I'm just trying to think how I would phrase this.
You don't have to.
Well, the thing is, I saw it in a picture once is vague enough that it is absolutely telling the truth, but leaving out the important thing that I had a literal vision 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's up to you how much you tell.
All right.
But there is a compulsion here to tell.
What I will say is, look, I've not been there before, but I get that this is fucking weird, and we need to just try and steer them away from whatever the fuck's going on, because whatever it is, it's nothing good.
Right, we need to... I feel like if I try and... I feel like Piggy's not listening to me.
No, he's not really listening to anyone.
In her pocket. They're... We need to find out what's going on. We need to stop whatever this is.
Alright, well, keep asking him about stuff about the pond. Get him on any other subject.
Yeah. Pigs, tell us about this. I've not been to the pond. What's it like?
Yeah.
This is a flagrant lie. I described the pond earlier.
It's a bit... It's nice. It's pretty. And I've got to go there for this memorial and restore balance because...
Say it's pretty. It's like I described a fish died in it and it just filled it with scum.
If we go there late enough, it's dog walkers and stuff, but it'll be nice and we can restore balance and memory him.
Yeah,
we'll get our candles out and it'll be really nice and we'll seal the gate.
Sad app candles. I'm sorry, I can't move on.
Gate needle sealing or he won't. Yeah, we've got to remember him properly, and that's...
Yeah. It has a candle, or you can swipe it one way and just has a crying face
really
emoji.
Nice. There's some flowers, but it costs 69p to unlock that one. You can get a whole
bloody microtransactions.
They last forever, not like real flowers, which don't. So it's nicer. But yeah, so we'll do that. We'll get the candle out.
Actually, better really.
Yeah.
Do a poem or something, and we'll restore the balance, seal the gate, and
And we'll restore the balance.
Pigs, you
I'd like
You're
to.
looking.
Sorry.
Oh.
No, you first.
Okay. Pigs, you look a bit emotional.
Brian.
Kind of looks like you're really missing Brian.
Brian.
I'm gonna put I'm being a bit bold here. I'm going to put a hand up
Roll to turn him
and
on.
fiddle with his hair a little bit and just look in his eyes. And I'm going to say something. Say, I think a nice long walk could make you feel better. And yeah, I'm going to roll to turn him on. That's what I'm doing. Like, blatantly. Oh.
Okay.
That's a 7.
Right sheets. I've got so many pieces of paper. You would not believe it. Okay, so because it's an NPC, I choose the reaction. I promise something I think you want.
You do?
Because promises are fun for you. Yeah.
Ha.
Promises are
for a
so
long
fun
walk.
for me.
You want a long walk? Yeah. As you're having this conversation,
Yeah, to the
you
circle, yeah?
cross the threshold of the woods. You're not in field now, you're amongst trees. And there's a weird rustling around you, and the light seems to flicker weirdly. There's bits of movements
What's
at the
that?
corner of your eye, but when you look, there's nothing there.
The thing I was going to do, which feels even more relevant at this point.
Excellent.
Yes.
I just find myself thinking hard about sealing the gate, and I'd like to gaze into the abyss about
Okay,
the gate.
Yes. Please roll.
And this feels important, and again, I feel like I just plunge a little bit into the dark, just a little further.
Yes, you
And
do.
it gains a string on me
Good.
as the power flows through me. And the power flowing through me is enough to turn that from an 8 to an 11.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay. Take one forward to address anything that comes up here. You see the stone circle from that night. Sort of waist height, dark stone in a 10-foot radius circle. It's not huge. But lying in the circle are the bodies, the very dead bodies of Brian and Nigel. And they flicker for a moment. And Nigel's gone. And in his place is Piggy stood staring blankly. A knife? Not quite. It's not a metal knife. It is flint, you think, maybe? With a bone handle and ivy wrapped around it. Just materializes in front of him and plunges into his heart. And he doesn't react. He just stands there as the blood pours down his front and the wound on his back. And then he drops to the ground. There's a flash of green light. And then they're both gone. And you hear a whisper. Stop it. Save him.
I murmur, how? So I'm whispering, but
Oh yeah.
Nigel's next
he
to
totally
me. So
hears.
Nigel, you hear me whisper. You hear me like murmuring, my eyes flickering, not unlike Piggy's.
Right.
Whispering. So it's stop it, save him. Does the price have to be paid? Does someone have to?
Save them all. Do not let blood be spilt.
Okay. I look to so as I get more and more into debt, I'm getting a bit more and closer and closer to my darker self, aren't I?
You are, and
Yeah.
there is a... What colour are your eyes normally?
Normally they are brown.
They've taken on a more sort of hazel... They're a bit lighter than they were, and there's like tinges of green, which doesn't quite hold itself into the iris. It's it's moving into the white of your eye. There's like tendrils of green growing through your eye.
And I go, look to you. Yeah, you just see like this strangely green flecked eyes look to you, Nigel.
All right.
We need to save everyone. We need to stop this.
The light is really flickering now. It's very strange. The rustling is louder, and you all keep seeing flickers of movement. Every step you take,
Right.
it seems to get louder and more insistent.
I am going to acknowledge what Jules has said. Walk up to Piggy and say directly, Piggy, where is the pond? How far is it now? We've been going quite a way.
We're having a long walk.
Yeah,
It's
plans changed.
Look, I really think that we're all still dealing with this in our own ways, but I know that, and I'm going to address Crow now. Look, I know that you were crying about something that day in the art department. If there was something that was happening between you and Brian that I didn't know about, maybe it would be a better idea if we all said what we need to say at the pond, and get all of this off our chests. I'm going to pull that string.
okay.
Ooh. Okay, so what are you trying to do with the string?
I am trying to... sorry, just checking the handy reference sheet here.
So you can tempt them to do what you want, give them a condition.
I am going to tempt them to do what I want, yeah.
Okay.
So would that be a hot roll?
No, what basically happens is you're offering them experience in exchange for doing...
Ah, right, well, yes. This is the offer then.
Am I allowed to not take it, or does that make the string completely shit? Like, how does it work?
You don't have to follow through on it. It is optional. You can also use them to punish people who have wronged you by setting nasty rumours. So that's more of a condition. So basically it's a bribe or a threat at this point. So this is...
If they
this is
don't
like...
do what I want, do they get one of the others, or do I get one of the others?
I mean, the thing is, at this point, from my point of view, going to
Yeah.
the pond is the last fucking thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's the last thing on the list, and especially from you. But you've pulled a
So
string.
I'd
So I'm
say
not sure how to play that.
roll to turn on, because that's sort of a persuasion. So, and add one for the string to it to see what happens here, because this is
All
a
right.
difficult situation. But sometimes your emotions betray you, even when you've made that decision. So, let's see what you roll.
Right, okie dokie. Okay. That's a 6.
Is that with the +1?
Actually, no, that's a 7 with the +1.
Okay, that makes a difference. So, that means, Crow, you get to decide whether you give yourself to him, promise something that you think he wants, or get embarrassed and act awkward.
I think I'm going to do a twist on the last one. Because this seems to be a persuasion turning on rather than, like,
Yeah, well,
an
there is a
actual,
physical reaction,
like-
and it's
Charming.
you're a little bit flushed by it, but it's not a. You're not going to. You don't have to throw yourself at him.
I think she flushes, and she just goes, "Look, I know he liked you better. Alright, and honestly I can see why.
You sure about that? Because there's times where I think it was the fact that he felt he needed to be seemed to be hanging around with you more. Yeah, you were always the person.
I never wanted anything to be too public.
With me, it was just obvious, like kind of pedestrian. No one really even noticed it, really. But if Brian had one feeling, it was that he could never resist an audience, or to be gossiped about.
Yeah, I was the show. You were real.
It didn't need to be that way.
Piggy stops walking at this point, like suddenly. Long walk, he says, and the rustling that's been surrounding you stops, the light flickering stops, the movement is gone. Sounds of the forest are normal. And all of your phones start buzzing insistently. You've got missed calls, texts, emails, messages on every possible social media platform. And looking down at your phones, you see the date has changed. It is now the 21st of June. And it is 3:00.
Ooh.
4 days have passed.
How many
And
days?
that's 4 days.
Okay.
That's where
wow.
we'll take a break.
Heck.
And welcome back
Whoops.
to a time where you might want to be careful about asking for a long walk. So, 4 days have passed, and you have a multitude of missed calls.
I mean, given my past,
messages.
given my family situation, do I guess they're all from school.
You do. It's mostly school.
See, I have a lot from my dad, probably.
Yeah, my parents would be.
You have so many from your dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
There would be
You even have one from Dylan, which is a question mark.
just a simple question mark.
I love that they don't even talk over message. That's really fun. They just do everything by emoji. I'm like thousands from Stephanie because she talks non-stop
Oh,
in
yeah.
my head.
Oh
They
yeah.
are long as well.
um,
And yeah,
Right.
Nigel, you've got a lot from your parents and a lot from school.
I look at this, swallow dryly and say, drugs. If anyone asks, we just went on a massive bender. We don't remember a thing.
yeah, you might not have parents, but some of us do.
A, my parents are never going to believe that. B, that raises a whole
Fuck
other bunch
right
of really awkward
off.
questions, like where did we get them? What, what were we doing the whole time? I don't know.
How has it been 4 days? What the fuck?
Oh, I've got somewhere I need to be.
Yeah, it seems like you've been taking your sweet time getting there. Oh god.
Okay. I have a DM question.
Yes.
How do we feel? Are we hungry? Are we like do we feel physically like 4 days has passed, or do we feel like we've just blinked?
It feels like the time it took you to walk here. But as you look at your phones, your batteries look like they've had 4 days of draining and are flashing red.
Yeah, 1%.
Wow, like, what even phones last 4 days these days?
Without use, They would, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Is this some sort of trick?
It's a fucking good trick if it is.
When are you playing a joke?
No. Like,
You're a
how?
fucking nerd, Nigel.
How
You can
the
probably hack a
fuck
phone.
would I do this?
Nerds, well
All of
known for their
us?
ability to manipulate
time it's-
time.
I'm going off the fact we are in the woods. It says it's a date on our phone. We have a load of texts.
Has the weather visibly
The
changed?
sun
Like-
is in a different position. It was like by the time you got here, it was like 10:30, 11. So it's a different time of day.
Okay,
The weather feels a bit warmer.
Look up there. Since when can Nigel hack the sky?
Okay, fair point.
I should have stayed in Heckmanwijk. This shit never happened in Heckmanwijk. Or Gummersall.
Bless you.
What? Was that supposed to be miscellaneous North Town?
They're actually quite close to each other. Heckmanwijk and Gummersall. Not far from Birstall. Or Clickeaton.
Northton, yeah.
All of these are real
doubt it.
towns.
They don't sound like real towns.
Well,
I'm from the north
What
and
about
they don't
such
sound like
fabled
real
places
towns.
as Ossett
Shitterton,
or
yeah.
Morley?
I mean, I live
Shitterton's
near a place
actually
called
real as
Spittle
well,
on the
so
Street,
enjoy
I
that.
will always believe every name place.
Oh, so good. Shitterton have to keep buying a new sign for their town because people keep nicking it,
Of
and they at
course
this
they
point
do.
just have a several-ton boulder so that no one can steal it. Google
That's
it;
brilliant.
it's real. I promise
Yeah.
you.
Only under certain circumstances do the town councils of Shitterton and Penistone meet.
Hey.
I currently live very near a place called Disney. It's very disappointing.
No animated mice.
Quite a nice pub, though.
I'd turn back, actually. I mean, at this point, I'd believe it. Nigel, did you hack the sky? Is this you? Is this somehow you?
No! What the What? How? How the
Well,
fuck
you
am I
didn't
gonna
want to go,
hack
and then
the
things
sky?
changed.
I'd like to. I turn and look, and part of me imagines we all turn and look at Piggy at the same moment if the thought would occur.
I've got somewhere to be.
Piggy,
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go there. I give Crow a significant look.
Maybe we should. We've got to get to the bottom of this. I'm assuming it's still
Yeah.
feeling like a good thing to go there, Bobs. Yeah. I want to know what the fuck is going on.
Piggy, as far as the rest of the world is concerned, we've been missing for 4 days. Does that not strike you as kind of the bigger issue here?
It just sort of blinks at you. Oh, I've got somewhere to be.
Okay, no.
Piggy hasn't gotten a phone out or anything. He's
Okay.
just been staring.
Okay, let's consider the situation. We've been walking in the woods. Piggy gives us a creepy comment about taking a long walk, and then 4 days passed. There's talk about sealing the gate. When someone starts talking about sealing the gate and circles of candles and shit, that is when you back the fuck off. At this point, I would not be surprised if Piggy is planning to take us into the woods and murder us all.
That's not
know
what
what?
this feels like.
What does it feel like to you then?
It feels like weird fucking shit has been happening for the last couple of months. And unless we get to the middle of the woods, we're not going to find out what the fuck is going on, and we're not going to be able to stop it. Weird shit like this is just keeping happening.
Oh, and
I mean,
who knows-
there was the night with the construction site and the circle, and then we've just
Wait,
skipped
what's that
4
about
days.
the construction site?
Well, the night of the accident.
No, wait, you
That
mentioned...
was it was like a freak thing.
Did you see something?
Did you? Nigel is very intent at this moment.
Did you see how Brian got to the construction site?
No. No, I didn't.
But did you see him in the woods?
No, he fucking stood me up in the woods. I waited for hours, and I didn't fucking see him in the woods, okay?
So,
I saw him.
This is about... You what?
Did you do something?
No.
Was he waiting for me?
Well, if he was, he clearly decided to take his sweet time with Nigel instead, because I saw both of them dead in a fucking stone circle!
Okay. I think this is a point where I have to play Unresolved Trauma.
Yeah!
Yeah. You are once again traumatized. Yeah.
Fair.
You see flashes of that circle again that you saw in your vision.
And yeah,
I'm Sam,
just
you
sort
go
of
first.
shaking my head mutely, like I'm trying to deny this, but there's no actual words coming out.
You feel very cold as well. Like every bit of warmth has been drawn out of you.
So,
Nigel, were you and Brian at the circle?
I've never
you take
been
him?
to any circle, alright?
well,
So he didn't come.
look, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going mad, but I swear like my eyes are fucking brown, that I saw the pair of them stone cold dead in the middle of a stone circle. And
They didn't die in the circle.
where'd they die?
I'm going to turn to Nigel. Well,
Well, what?
construction site accident, wasn't it?
When the accident happened, I think both of our first instincts were to get out of there. I didn't realise that he was dead until hours afterwards when I got a phone call from his parents. I didn't know what to tell them. So I just clammed up. I froze.
How are you walking?
On my legs like anyone else.
You know what I mean.
Wait. Who died in the construction site?
Brian did. Obviously.
Was it Brian who died there? Or did Brian take Nigel to a circle in the middle of the woods and die there or something? Because that's what this
Never
is
went to the
feeling
woods.
like.
As the fact that seemingly Crow was stood up should attest.
We were going to leave.
What, run away, elope?
What?
Not elope. Fucking hell. We're going to go somewhere else, find somewhere to live, make it work. It's been bad at home.
Yeah.
We said we
no.
could leave. He was so sure. But, no, instead he went off with you. I look at Nigel. Saw you.
Where?
Having it off at the construction site. Saw you.
You see, Nigel sort of look away for a moment. And he finally says, you know, he was worried that if he told people, no one would believe it. That he could possibly think that I was a better catch than you. I didn't ask for this.
He promised me. He promised me he would fucking be there, and he chose you. I think it's darkest self time. Like, I just...
Yeah, that feels pretty dark as self.
Yeah, Faye stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so similar to what started to happen with Jules, but stronger. So your eyes, there are laces of vines through it, but also every, you know how you sort of half see arteries in your arms and things like that?
Yeah.
They stand out. Across your entire body, you see every artery and they glow green.
What the fuck?
There was a promise made, and you stole it.
I didn't steal anything. You just didn't like the choice somebody else made. There's a difference.
It's your fault.
No.
It's your fault this didn't go right.
Are we gonna? Sorry, are we gonna? Pay
You
attention
made
to
him
the...
break it.
I didn't do anything. You forced him into something already.
He wanted me, not you. He felt sorry for you.
Alright, I am going to gaze into the abyss, I think. Yeah.
Give me a dark roll. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
I am looking for some retrospective indication of what Brian actually wanted. I'm trying to think...
That's such dangerous information, yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything to what Crow is saying, but also if maybe he was playing both of us. But here we go. Okay, that's an 8.
Okay. Confusing and alarming. So, you see flashes of him promising, and it is a promise, to meet both of you at separate occasions. You see his moment of indecision stood at a junction between the two meeting places. You see him turn to yours. You see Crow stood in a stone circle, screaming at the sky, and a flash of the image of the two of you and him holding hands sat on the scaffolding in the construction site. And you can feel the anger emanating off Crow.
Alright. For a moment, he just sort of is staring into the middle distance, and then says, "So, because you made him feel like he had to choose between the two of us, he made a choice, and now he's dead."
He broke a promise, so now he's dead. And I thought you were dead too. But apparently not.
I'm just gonna look around. Is Piggy still here?
The important questions.
I mean, I want to say yes, but it's so much more fun if he's not. No, Piggy has walked off. Piggy's gone.
Okay.
Where the fuck is Piggy?
Probably at the circle, I'd imagine.
Then where's the circle?
Let's go.
Fine, lead the fucking way.
As Crow steps forward and... Nigel, I'm assuming you're following?
Yeah.
So Nigel and Crow step ahead. Jules, you hesitate for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
And as you do, you hear a sound behind you.
No.
Very close. And you see Miss
I
McMurdo
glance back.
stood couple of feet away.
Miss?
I'm here to help you, Jules.
Wait, miss?
I'm always here
What are
to help
doing
you, you know that. You have to stop them, Jules.
How did you get here?
You have to keep the gate open.
I have to keep the gate open.
Can't let them hurt Piggy, Jules.
It's the only way to save Piggy.
You can't trust her.
No, I can't.
She wants it done.
No,
There's
I
blood on
can't.
her hands.
So that's what Nigel meant.
You do.
I glance back. I've got to stop them.
Something I should
gonna race
retroactively
after
probably
them.
say is that as a result of the last exchange between myself and Crow, I'm invoking the projected blame.
Do you have that? I didn't think you had that one.
While I have the
You
condition
don't have that
traumatized.
ability. You didn't choose that one.
What does that mean?
Oh, I don't.
It's alright.
Oh no, sorry. Take that all back.
Which is hilarious for reasons I will tell you later.
Okay.
Also, just a thing as you walk, Nigel, you look down and your hands are slightly transparent. Just very slightly. You can see the leaf molds through it on the ground.
I barely noticed this because my fists are clenched.
It's just like that one scene in Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's like the
where
first
Marty's
starting to
hand
fade.
goes.
Yeah. You walk through the woods.
It's like steam coming off all of us with the rage, I feel.
I'm racing after them. You tell me when I catch up.
You're not far behind. In fact, it feels like that conversation happened in a second. And
Yeah, I
if
feel like
you-
we've just stopped talking.
Yeah.
If you look back, Miss McMurdo's gone.
Right. Stop them. We've got to stop them. But I need to save Piggy. I'm gonna step in beside them, and I feel like I might need to try and keep my cool
Yeah,
here,
do it.
and because
Roll
I
for me.
want to try and pretend. Okay, that was an 11. 10 with -1. I'm going to try and act as if I am, as if I'm not working against them.
Okay.
Just like as if I'm reluctantly following.
You can also ask me a question about the situation because you rolled so well, and you can take one forward to then act on that information. So you get a +1 to anything you do about that.
Oh, it's a question about the situation. I don't even know what I would ask. I guess I would ask whether it's almost like more like gazing into the abyss, and I'm happy to roll for that. But whether I get a sense that dagger, that knife specifically, is essential to closing the gate. Or if just any spilt blood will do.
You get the feeling that it's not necessarily that specific knife, but there is a volume of blood that is needed. There is a life that is
A
needed.
life is needed.
It's not even the blood, it's a
Yeah.
life. Like a broken neck would do it, you get the feeling.
Got it. Okay. I skulk in beside them. Let's just find Piggy.
Crow, you are leading the way, and you know where you're going.
Yeah, I've
With
been
the
here before.
certainty that it's you just know that this is the direction that you have to go.
Here's this way.
So what? They just fell?
Yeah. I fell.
Just like that.
I was in the forest. How would I have done it?
Quiet. Carry on walking.
The woods are eerily quiet. And there aren't footpaths or any sort of clear indicators of where to go, but you press on solidly as the trees get thicker and thicker together, and it starts to block out the light from above. And there is almost like a bioluminescence effect coming from the veins that are still stood up on Crow's skin. Still your darkest self.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The condition has not been fulfilled for that to end.
And it just seems... each of you have these feelings, the foreboding, the certainty, and this cold dread. And every step you take, it grows.
Is that those
so
two, or me included, or...
Certainty is you. The cold dread is Nigel.
Yeah.
And Jules is that... Whatever the other one I said.
Is the foreboding. Yeah.
Get one each.
Yay.
Ooh.
And up ahead, you see Piggy walking slowly, but with purpose.
Gonna race up towards him.
I think we all do. I do, anyway.
Pigs!
No sign of it yet.
I look around for any sign of this stone circle.
I've
Pigs, you've got to come
be.
back.
Yeah, I'll go with him and say...
No.
Yeah, and it's not
And you
here.
promised you'd go
did.
there. With me, remember?
You
You
can't.
said we'd have a long
No.
walk to the circle. Nobody breaks promises to me.
Yeah.
Piggy. You've got... I'm trying to think... Yeah, in fact, I'm just going to do this and you tell me what this is. I'm going to put my hands on Piggy's shoulders. And, fuck it, I'm going to spend that string I have on Piggy. To try and tempt them to do what I want. Piggy. Come on, you've known me for years, Pigs. Philip. That's a stupid name. Come on. This, I don't trust her. We can't. If you go there, you might die. Come with me. Let's go back. We can turn around. Just break your promise.
Pulling strings. Ooh. What is it going to be? I mean, it's the closest we've got is turn someone on because you want them. Yeah, that's not what it. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to provoke an emotional reaction.
It is.
Oh, hot -1. This is relating to my task. So,
Yes.
so
you can.
can I embrace the shadows, please?
Why
And
not?
let the power flow through me. I want to get more in depth with this dark power. This will have no negative concept. Fuck. Oh boy, oh boy. That would be 5 + 2 - 1. That is a failure.
Oh, take experience, but
Yeah. Yeah, but I
I've
am.
got somewhere to be.
Yes, Pigs. You promised. Come on. I'm going to take his hand again.
I find myself shivering a little.
You start stepping forward with him. He follows willingly. He's almost following you now as though you're leading him.
Okay, Nigel looks conflicted, but he's starting to reach a resolution about something.
As you get more certain about it, you're less transparent. You solidify a little. Whatever that decision is, it is your
I
hands
look down
are
at my
solid again.
hands.
You continue through the woods. It gets darker and darker. And it is silent apart from your movement. You can feel it's close now.
Getting closer. Nearly there, pigs.
Yeah. It's time.
It is.
Are you going to hurt more innocent people?
I'll raise an eyebrow at him. What made you say that?
You keep talking about promises made and promises broken. What promise had Piggy made to you?
He promised that he would come through the woods on a long walk and we would go to the circle. You heard him. You were there.
And that's it.
Promises broken have a price. And I didn't understand it, but I think that night, I think you and Brian were supposed to pay. But only he did. Turns out. So as far as I see it, something's out of whack.
I'll say something's out of whack. You said Brian broke a promise. So how does that put Nigel in your debt?
Yeah. It seems like I was, for whatever it's worth to you, collateral damage. How does that figure into anything?
Where I see it, without you it was straightforward. Promise was made. But you swayed him, you made him make a promise to you as well. You muddied it.
That's not how that works.
Also, do you not think the same could be said of you putting him in that situation in the first place?
I didn't put him in a situation. We were together, it was what he wanted.
I'm beginning to wonder about that looking at Piggy.
I've got somewhere to be.
Yeah, I know you do.
Okay.
We're going. It's alright. Piggy, I don't know what's happening with. But it feels like this is the way we should go. So, let's go.
Okay.
As we walk, I say, what if the debt isn't... What if the debt isn't Nigel's or Brian's? What if you're the one that's owing?
I didn't break the promise. I was where I was supposed to be.
But you changed things. You wrought a change. And that puts you in debt.
How'd you work that one out? I'm the only person on that night that was where they were supposed to be, doing what they were supposed to do. Everyone else fucked up. He fucked up. My fucking parents fucked up. I'm the only one that was where I said I was supposed to be at the time I said I would be there, the time I promised to be there. No one else was there when they were supposed to be. I'm clean.
I was exactly where I intended to be. I didn't even know about this.
You may have fucked things up in ignorance, but you still fucked them up. You didn't need him, you were fine. I didn't have anywhere else to go.
You don't know what the fuck I needed.
Looked alright to me.
I've got somewhere I need to be.
Yeah, come on.
How close to the circle are we?
It's not in sight, but you're heading uphill, so... It feels close, though, to Crow, but no one else has a sense of it. Beyond that, this... You feel very cold. It is freezing.
Is it getting colder the closer we get there?
Yeah, every step you take, you feel colder. No one else is feeling the cold. It's just you.
All right.
Jules, you hear the whispered voice. Stop her. She's too close. Stop them.
I'm going to step forward in front of Crow. This has gone far enough.
I'm going to lash out physically.
Roll! Volatile.
Can I guess...
I'm not very good at this.
Can I also... Well, I didn't say I lash out, so yeah.
You've got
So
it.
it's you
Yeah,
first.
you can react once it's happened.
Once it's happened, unless you get 10 up.
Would we say this is an act of vengeance, team? Not quite, I don't think.
In
I haven't
your
yet wronged
darkest
you.
self form, you would believe it is.
Oh, that's true.
My darkest self form has really fucked up ideas
Yes.
about vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull a string and use an ability that I have. I can add 2 to a roll on an act of vengeance.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. And I've pulled a string on you. Okay, oh, it's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. 6.
Oh,
I mess up. Well, experience.
Yeah, you get experience, but you... How do you lash out? What was your intention?
I think something really quite violent is what I wanted to do, actually. I would say I want to smash his head into a tree.
Okay, you
It being the nearest
grab
solid thing.
at his head, and you do push him towards the tree, but you just miss the tree. So he can see what your intention was entirely.
yeah. And I'm going to lash out physically back because she's trying to push my head into the tree. I'm going to try and grab her by the shirt and the head and slam her head into the tree.
Lash out physically. As this is happening, though, Crow, you hear a voice in your head, not a voice you've heard before, necessarily. Say, bring them through. Cross over. It's time we talked.
I'm coming.
And you get that a moment before a blinding
Did you roll?
of light and pain.
That kind of works, though, because I'm distracted. So, yeah.
Because so it was 9 plus 2 for volatile plus 1 because I am under pressure. The dark power has 3 or more strings on me and I'm carrying out its bidding. So that becomes a 12.
Jesus. Hello.
I deal you harm.
Yeah, you take 1 harm as
Cool.
your head slams into the side of the tree.
And do you think that's enough? Is that enough to dispel my image of being weak?
Ooh. Yeah, that will do it.
I feel, I mean, having been the one to give it to you, I feel like that's it.
Can I try and pull a string? Can I try and pull a string on you and give you a condition then?
Yes, I guess you can, yes.
I want you to be afraid of me.
Ooh.
Yeah, that works. That works well.
Cool.
I want you to fear me.
I mean, you really fucking hit me, so I guess I'm on the floor.
What would you like to do? How do you react to that?
You know, it's funny, because everyone's saying I'm the scary one.
Piggy, you should go home.
Piggy, did you see what he did to me? I get some, like, blood out of... I've got, like, in my head, I don't know why, it's because it's dramatic, I've got, like, a cut through my eyebrow. I just, like, wipe some blood off and, like, show it to Piggy. Pigs, did you see what he did to me?
Piggy, you need to go home.
Pigs, you can't go with this guy, he's dangerous.
You cannot trust this woman.
I've got somewhere to be.
It's funny, because he's saying that, but I'm the one bleeding.
They tried to smash my head into a tree. I fought back.
I got scared and pushed you. You injured me. Pigs, let's go. Come on.
Go out and
Yes,
Can I roll
can.
to turn him on? This is like not the moment. It feels like what I'm doing, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Again, I take his hand and... Yeah.
Get
It doesn't
some
work.
experience.
That's a 4.
He actually hesitates. And
Experience! Yay!
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah. I'm going to try and grab him by the arm and half plead, half drag him. Like, Piggy, we're going home. This has gone on long enough.
I think the failure means that you do manage to get some distance, taking it off the previous failure. So you pull him back a few paces, and he's sort of he's like blinking and rubbing his forehead. Nigel, what do you do?
Come on, Piggy. Let's just...
I was going to say, during all of this, in the confusion, I'm going to take the advantage of the fact that nobody's attention is directly on me, and fly upwards to the top of the mountain to see how far
Nigel
we
can
are
fly!
from the circle.
Bye!
Yeah.
You reach the top of the hill very quickly, and you see a sort of... It's almost like a bowl of a geographical feature that it goes down into a central thing surrounded by...
A hollow?
Yeah. And at the centre of it, there is a stone circle.
Right.
And can you roll to keep your cool, seeing the stone circle, please?
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy, that is oh no, that's an 8. I thought that was worse than it was.
You can see the centre of the circle, the ground is disturbed. It's been recently moved, the earth. And there's just this horrible feeling of dread seeing that. And it's left you a bit shaken, and you're not entirely sure why.
Okay. I am going to come quickly back down to the earth, to the exact spot I left.
Yeah, we're too distracted to have noticed this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
like-
don't see this.
Like, you
If this were a film, you'd be struggling in the foreground, and Nigel would be just like surveying the thing, and then zoop.
It's so good that you can fly and we don't know.
yeah,
It's genius that you can fly and we didn't notice.
I've not had a means I can use it in yet.
yes. You just like pop back down like to the moment where like we're both pleading for Piggy to go different ways.
I mean, yeah, you've got a slight distance away. I'm gonna drag the blood down the side of my face. And just like start fake crying. I start fake crying. I just go, Piggy, help! I need to get to the middle of the woods, and I can't do it on my own. I'm dizzy. I hit my head. He hurt me. Help!
Are you pulling a string? Are you turning it? What is your intention here?
I think I think I've got to turn him on. But is that like a really weird use of turn him on? Like, is that okay?
I think it works. You're trying to elicit an emotional... Yeah, trying to get an
I'm
emotional
trying to make him
reaction.
soften.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make him soften, and I'm trying to make... Well, frankly, I'm trying to make him see me as something appealing, almost.
It feels more like a hot roll than a cold roll. So we're turning... It's not a shutting someone down,
does.
so we will roll as a turning on.
Oh, I'm definitely not shutting him down. I want to tempt him. Also, yeah, that feels like a pretty fair interpretation of turn somebody on.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. That's a 12, my dears.
There is something about the blood that Piggy stops, and he pulls his hand free and starts walking back towards you.
Help me up, will ya?
I've got somewhere to be.
Yeah, we both do, remember?
Somewhere to be. Yeah, we got...
Come on, help me get there. I'm dizzy.
Close the gate. Yeah. That's it.
I put my hand up to his face. And just like, with a like bloody hand, just like trail a finger down the side of his cheek. And then I laid him.
I'm just going to... Injury alone didn't do it. I think I need to be nasty. I think I need to stop her.
Fighting.
Okay, what would you like to do?
You tell me what this is, because I'm just going to call it... I don't know if this is... I'm out of strings on her, so this is just... what did I put down for... It was... There we go. Do you know why he chose him? Because he never loved you.
Roll to
He
shut
couldn't
down.
love you. How could anyone love you? I mean, that's a fucking 6. I really should have let the power flow through me, but oh well.
I mean, it's so good, I kind of want to let you just to make it into a thing, because it's fun.
Okay,
It
fuck
is
it. In
really
which case,
fun.
yeah,
As long
I'll
as
get
you're-
a little bit more in debt.
The
I'm
yeah,
4
the-
in.
the dark green in your eyes spreads, and your veins are starting to show up. Not quite to the same degree, but it's a different colour, whereas hers is sort of a luminous green of like new growth. Yours is dark green.
Kind of like
Yeah.
poisonous.
Poison
Yeah.
ivy kind of green.
Yeah. Okay, so
What are you doing to
you
me?
get to give me a condition because I come across poorly.
Ooh, okay.
But I get to put I can put a condition on you. I want to make you despair.
Okay. So
And-
my condition is...
But what do you? But what condition do you put on me?
I'm trying to think what I want. I want to make you look... I'm trying to think of the right word. I so have the sentiment. What's the word? A bit like feral.
Cruel, vicious, dangerous.
Wild, dangerous.
I want to, yeah, maybe I want to make you look like the dangerous option.
We get the
What's
sentiment.
word?
Like the
Like a-
wild, scary, animalistic option that
Feral?
you would be crazy to take. Yeah.
Or
I think maybe feral. Maybe feral's
Yeah,
a good
feral.
word for it. It's how you appear.
Okay. Piggy is continuing to try to move forward,
yeah,
but
it's like
you have stopped Crow in her tracks. They are shook.
It's just... Yeah, it's just like... Their eyes are filling up and like... Yeah, still covered in blood, looking wilder than ever.
yeah.
but just frozen.
Just gonna go up. I'm gonna stride up and take Piggy by the shoulder, and this time there's no pleas about it. It's just, we're going home, Piggy.
Okay, I'm gonna make that
And
a
I'm
lash
gonna
out
try and
physically.
pull
He's
him
not
back
coming
if he
at the
doesn't come.
moment. You won't do harm to him if you succeed, but you will be able to move him.
7, and that is because I rolled a 4 + 2 + 1 for under pressure, so it barely succeeds. And so I managed to pull them, but
Yeah, it feels like a darkest self moment.
this feels like, I mean, I'm one string away. I almost feel like I should just go into it. I become my darkest self. Just what happens visually as I pull them.
Much the same as has happened to Crow, but with this darker colour. Your eyes sort of almost become completely dark green, no white to it. Your skin pulses with the veins showing through.
Come with me, Piggy. We have to go.
You are evil. I thought it was fucking Nigel that was the problem. It's you. It's always been you.
Yeah, you're not
Can I
the problem,
clarify
Nigel. Let's clarify that right
Can we-
now.
I feel like,
Yeah.
when Nigel's mentioned, we're probably like looking around
look
for
at
Nigel
Nigel.
at this point.
Yeah.
To Nigel.
Yeah.
What you doing, babe?
Well, first of all, am I still basically corporeal?
Yeah.
Okay. Second one is a tiny mechanics thing of, can I spend experience at any time, or does it have to get to a certain threshold?
5. You need 5 experience.
I need 5. Okay, that's fine. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to say to Crow, you keep going on about restoring balance and everything. Well, if promises are so important to you, then how about this one? If I go to the circle with you, then any blood that has to be spilled there is either yours or mine. No more innocence.
So you're saying you're not innocent?
I was collateral damage, but that choice has been made for me already.
Do you have any blood to be spilt?
Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm dead, but maybe I'm not dead enough.
Jules, you hear a voice
Maybe not.
in your head again. No,
No,
they can't have him.
they can't have him.
He's ours.
He's ours.
Whose?
Him meaning Piggy or me?
Hunk.
I think at this point, definitely Nigel.
Okay.
The gate will stay open. There will be no blood spilt. I am just like shivering like I'm hypothermic.
Come and fucking stop us then. I'm gonna grab Nigel in front.
Oh!
Roll to run away.
I
Roll
did not
to run
accept
away.
that promise,
That
by
is
the
a
way.
roll you could do.
Yeah.
Give us a volatile.
Yeah.
Rubbish at
Both of
volatile.
you,
It's going to
if
be
Nigel you're
exciting.
going with.
Yeah. Do I have an instinct that if I, being as it's getting colder and colder the closer we get to it, if I were to get there, would I still even be able to operate?
You know there's something there that you... There is something there you need to find that you don't want to find. That's the sense you've got. There is an inevitability to the place
Right, okay.
that makes you want to run, but draws you to it.
Right. Okay.
I rolled a 9 to run away.
Okay.
Oh no, an 8. Apologies. An 8.
So, you run, but
All right,
you can
then.
either run into something worse, cause a big scene, or leave something behind. But let's see what Nigel rolls, because
Oh,
if
God,
Nigel
I feel
rolls
like I'm
badly,
doing
you might
all
be
of
leaving
them.
Nigel behind. Yeah, roll
That sounds
volatile.
very fun thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do
Yes,
you want me to
please.
roll? What am I rolling? Volatile. Okay. Right. This is going to go so well. Okay. That is. Oh, that's a 10.
Okay,
Ooh.
so you get there, over the hill, away from the horrifying Jules,
Over
but
the hill
the
and far
equally
away.
horrifying Crow. Which option would you like?
I would like run into something worse.
Okay, excellent.
That fascinates me.
You...
Yeah, so I'm actually delayed, like, essentially trying to shove Piggy down the hill and keep him from just wandering up there himself.
Piggy is looking super confused and lost.
He's having a bad day.
Piggy's had the worst day out of everyone. Like,
He's
just...
unaware of how bad his day is.
Yeah.
But Crow, you make it over the crest of the hill, and you come face to face with Miss McMurdo. Only there's something weird about her. It's like there's something inside her wearing a person suit. It's like there's a ghostly figure inside her. It's
This?
the same colour as the veins on Jules. Her eyes are black green. Her skin almost looks like, well, the skin of the creature possessing her or inside her its skin's like bark, and its hair is vines, but it's sort of dripping like a black tar from cracks between the wood.
Missy, you in there?
No more bloodshed. We keep the gate open.
You are in my way. I am going to lash out physically again.
Roll for that.
I just want to push her out the fucking way. Oh, it's rubbish. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, these bisexual dice are like going away. That would be a whole 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
As
really
you
bad.
lift your hands to push, she grabs your wrists and squeezes. And there's
Oh,
you can
God.
feel your bones grinding, and you take one harm. As she,
You've already taken
I
one
scream.
harm from me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking bad. Like 2 harm in Monsterhearts is bad.
you have
That's
a
half
maximum
my
of
health.
4.
Like, yeah.
Shit. Okay, while that is happening, can I... Because I feel like I should be doing something about Jules. Not Jules. I should be doing something about Jules. Jules
needs
is in
a
a
lot
bad
doing.
place. I should be doing... I should be doing something about Piggy. I'm gonna, at this point, I'll be almost desperate, like, turning Piggy around and saying, Piggy, go, run home. I'll do anything you want. I'll owe you any favor, any debt, but go. I'm basically offering Piggy a string.
okay.
I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know, but I'm going to say yes because it's fun. He takes a string on you and sort of goes, "Where am I meant to be?"
You're meant to be home.
Right. And he starts wandering, not in the direction of the circle, not the direction you came, just sort of vaguely.
Can I
Close enough.
assist
you
this
legged
in
it
any
for the
way?
circle. You
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
it past.
At that point,
Okay,
I
yeah.
start
Past
running
Miss
after them,
McMurdo,
but I'm
or
not going to
whatever
ride them
Miss
for a while.
McMurdo is. You are past. You are heading for the circle.
Right. Okay.
As you get closer, you see, quite similar to Miss McMurdo, a figure stood in the centre. It's Mr. Fisher. Fish, the headmaster. And very much like Miss McMurdo, there is something within him. But this is the same green as Crow. It's vibrant, it's fresh growth, and it fills him with light. And there are leaves coming off the bark that is the creature's skin. And it beckons to you.
Alright. I hold my ground for a moment. And I say, what are you doing here, Fish?
Nigel, I think it's time to go.
Go where?
He gives you a sad smile and looks at the freshly disturbed earth at his feet. The centre of the circle. Up on the hill behind, Miss McMurdo. I really need better names for these people, but those are the names they have. She...
As if we have a character called Pig and a character called
great
Fish.
naming these people.
Yeah.
This is us collectively being bad at naming people.
Oh, yeah.
Not one person can take
no.
this on themselves because we made these names together.
Yeah. No. This was a very, very strict character choice. He would normally call him Mr. Fisher, as is his name, but Fish is the nickname all of the students have for him and think that he doesn't know.
Anyway, Miss McMurdo screams to Jules.
Who's just about running up at this point.
Stop him!
I
Don't let him go.
I look to Nigel and I say to her, I need something. I'd like to use uncanny voices and put myself a string further in debt with Miss McMurdo to find out a
Jesus.
secret about Nigel. I need to know one of your fears, secret desires, or secret strengths. You choose which.
Okay. I think secret fear, especially pertinent at this point, is that Crow is right. That actually it was her that was the object of Brian's affections all along, and what happened between the two of us was nothing more than a sympathy shag.
Nice. I have a question. Has she still got hold of me? I have something I want to do, but tell me when it's the right moment.
So as you do this, Jules, you also notice what wasn't visible before is there is a dark vine going out of Miss McMurdo and wrapped around Nigel's leg, but it is almost like fraying as he gets closer to the circle. Crow, what would you like to do?
So she's got hold of me by the wrists. I have a really nasty image, and I have no idea if this would in real life work. I want to bite her hand, and I'm attempting to take a finger
Lash
off
out
to distract
physically.
her so she drops me.
That would be pretty distracting, I think.
Yeah,
Roll
that's what I
volatile.
was figuring. I would be distracted by that. Yeah. So
I've
bad
never
at
lost a
volatile, and
finger,
it's the
but
skill
yeah.
I need right now. No. It's not going well. It's really not.
Oh, you don't
That's
manage
a
it.
5.
She just holds your wrists further apart and snarls at you. Have an experience, though. Yep, Jules, what would you like to do?
Can I make a
Thank you.
plea to Nigel? Well, not exactly a plea. I think this is pulling a string on you, which might be my last string on you.
Okay.
As I make the case. You're here for a reason, Nigel. You can't end it. You can't bring this to a close. You need vengeance. You need to right the wrong that was done to you.
She did this. She turned him away from you. She hollowed out everything you had with her poison.
And I would like to set the condition on you of vengeance.
Okay.
I would like to give you a need for vengeance to be satisfied.
I turn to you and I say, why do you think I came all this way?
Sam. Okay.
Does anyone have anything they want to do immediately?
Yeah, I do, actually. I'm still, wrists up held by the demon teacher.
It's a shame it's not actually the demon headmaster who's holding you up.
That's hilarious.
Demon gym teacher.
Wow, you can see why they didn't name the show that, can't you? Demon gym teacher just isn't quite as good, is it?
Yeah.
But Demon Headmaster, for anyone not from the UK, was an amazing TV show that was on for children for a while. It was so good.
For the 90s.
Based on a book series.
What was that?
It was based on a book series.
Yeah, a really long book series from what I remember. Anyway, drama. I mean, I would imagine I'm looking pretty fucking injured, and this is looking pretty fucked up.
Almost like leaking this green light.
I would like to... Yeah. I would like to pull my final string on Nigel. And just... Again, it's like the front of weakness again. She just like sags with her wrists up, bleeding. She's just like, Nigel, look at this. Come on, you're a decent person. This is fucked up. Look what's going on. You have a way out here. You could just leave. You could have peace. You don't need to deal with this anymore. You've had your life. Just get out. You deserve to rest. And I would like to... I guess I'm trying to tempt them to do what I want.
So, turn someone on?
So I'm trying to tempt you to give in and get in the circle, which is like so unlikely.
Roll add one for the string.
I'm tempting you.
So roll to turn someone on and add one for the string that you're pulling to make this happen. I think that's probably the best way of doing that.
That is a 9.
Okay, with the +1.
Ooh.
Okay, so Nigel, you can give her a string for that, or promise something that they want, get embarrassed and act awkward, or give them yourself to her. Yeah, if you give yourself to them at this point, it's a little bit weird, but it's a valid choice.
Yeah.
Shit's weird.
Yeah. Ooh.
You're basically being like tempted and threatened by two different demons, and
Right.
well,
We are like
sorry,
literal
technically.
angel and devil on your
Yeah.
shoulder, but neither of us are
guess.
a good option.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a little bit more succubus incubus.
So, I can either give her what she wants, or take a string. I think, given the situation, I'm going to have to take a string.
That's fair.
Okay.
But what I will say aloud is, I wasn't necessarily going to kill you, but I don't have to save you either.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna reach out a hand to Nigel.
Come. We can walk away from this.
Nigel,
It's not over.
Nigel, don't. Please.
As potentially anticlimactic as this might be, I am going to attempt to run away. from both of them.
Okay, roll volatile.
Okay, rolling volatile. Right.
I mean, yeah, there's basically like 4 fucking demons in a pit with you.
Oh, okay. That's a 9.
Ooh.
Okay. Choose one. You can run to something worse, cause a big scene, which I think has kind of already happened, or leave something behind. It's got to be something important. It can't be just...
Or like,
Okay.
I'm leaving the
dropped
bad
my
scene
phone.
behind.
Right, yeah. No, I think this actually might be an opportunity to become my darkest self. I am going to run away from this. I'm going to shoot up into the air, but as I go, you see me become less and less visible, less and less corporeal.
That's running into something worse. I
Oh,
will
yeah.
accept that. So Nigel vanishes entirely.
Does this feel like I am a step closer to fulfilling the demand?
It does.
Down to 4 strings.
Yay!
Just feel a little bit of vitality return to me.
So many strings on you, you're practically fucking knitted at this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to fish. And I'm gonna say, if not Nigel, someone else. Just blood, right? That's what's important.
A life is needed to close the gate.
Then help me.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Roll to turn someone on, because it is...
That
you're
felt the
trying to-
closest.
yeah.
I'll add a bit more. I've kept my promises, I've been loyal, I've come when you've called, help me! That's an 8.
Okay, so... yeah, the
Turn on the
all-powerful
headmaster.
headmaster gets embarrassed and acts awkward. No.
It's a boner, huh?
He...
Imagine if he was just like, ooh, shucks. Like-
He's going to probably take a string is the easiest thing. Yeah, he takes a string on you.
Mhm.
Oh wow, that's
Cool.
more strings than you know he has. But
Ah.
he is going to... He's going to lash out physically at the... Well, no, they can't do that. The NPCs are different in this. They can't... They don't have actions. But he's going to tackle... tackle McMurdo.
Try and tackle me.
He's trying to free you.
Oh, McMurdo.
And do you want to roll a lash out physically for me to see if you can get away from this? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, to see if I can,
I'm pretty
like,
sure there is some
get
form
what
of
I want
advantage
out of
in
him
this, but
helping.
I can't remember how it works. I think you get to roll an extra d6 and choose which 2 you use. I feel like that's a
Ooh.
thing. If it's not, I'm going to say it because you're having help here.
So shall I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh gosh. So bad at volatile. This is the worst thing to have as a dump stat. 6. Can't get out.
Don't worry. I'm going to try and get you out, so to speak. Because, yeah, my role is to prevent death in the circle. So it's time to try and essentially rugby tackle you out of the circle.
Okay, lash out physically.
It
Against...
goes. Okay, 6 becomes 7 under pressure, becomes 9 becomes 9 with volatile, and because this is related, I got 2 carry forwards I can use versus the gate and stopping death. I'm going to burn one of them.
Yep.
10.
So you're up
And
to
that is-
10.
Yeah, I'm afraid
And
you
you're
take a
doing
harm, and
3 harm.
doing
Whoa.
3 harm, and I am dragging, and I'm just basically trying to grab you and like drag us both away from the circle before you can die there.
You do, but you do out. It also means that they are now out of Miss McMurdo's grip. And the two Fey entities are now grappling each other.
Okay.
Well, basically, yeah.
Nigel, what are you doing?
How you doing, Nigel?
Feeling like everyone's just sort of looking straight through me. I would imagine that I'm a ways away at this point. Can I still see what's going on?
Did you go straight up? Or did you go...
It was more sort of at like a 45-degree angle, but yeah. I'm like
Okay.
up way... like.
You can still see... It's a wide clearing, this area. You can see what's going on. And that... You still feel that draw to that mound of earth.
Okay, like a draw that I want to rush towards it or run away from it still.
It's like that horrible dread with certainty, like you know it's something awful, but you can't pull yourself away from it.
Right, okay.
Like you physically can, but it's just tugging at you.
Okay, I am going... Now, I'm non-corporeal.
You can affect inanimate objects.
Right. What I was actually thinking about was having shot up into the air, I realise that even if I'm not visible, the pull is still there, and there's nothing between me and this place. I'm going to shoot straight down into the ground.
Into the earth?
Yes.
Into that bit of that mound of earth.
Well, not into the mound of earth, but I'm going.
It's not a mound. There's some disturbed earth in the center of the circle.
Yeah, I'm still going to be going away from the circle, but I'm going to be trying to like put actual physical ground between me and the circle.
Okay.
I'm confused.
Oh, so you're just going straight down into like ground in the forest, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so you're going away from the circle. In my head, because you said
Straight down.
Yeah.
It
the
sounded like
earth,
you're going
I
straight
thought
to
you were
the-
going into the circle.
Yeah. No. I'm attempting to hide from my problems.
It doesn't help. If anything, it's
Aren't
stronger.
valid.
The pull is stronger
Oh, no.
down here.
Okay. Well, that was what I decided that I would do, so that is what I do for the moment. I will probably do something else shortly.
Meanwhile,
Ooh, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
So, you've got hold of me, I've got hold of you.
Yeah. We're doing that like tumble down the hill thing.
Yeah, grappling. I just say, I don't know why you're fighting so hard. There's no one in that house with you. No one would even miss you. And I'm going to pull a string in a fairy contract type way.
Yeah, because I have broken my
And-
contract with you.
I'm going to choose that you fuck up something simple at a crucial moment, suffering one harm if appropriate.
yeah.
This appears to be a crucial moment.
Yeah, this is a crucial moment and you fuck something
As
up.
we're rolling down, there's a tree in the way. Can we
yeah.
say there's a tree in the way? And I just smack
And
into
you are
it.
free now, Crow.
Take a harm, I guess.
Yeah.
I need to take someone to this damn circle. Fuck it. How far away from the circle is he?
15 feet. He kind of rolls back down the hill towards it.
Oh god. While he is stunned,
Yep.
I don't know what I'm trying to do.
Also, I would have to say, under the circumstances, you're probably not afraid of me anymore.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
I think that's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I'm still despairing though. That
Oh
counts.
yeah.
I'm trying to work out if I want to pull him or if I want to pull a string. What do I want to do? I think my immediate instinct is just fucking. Again, I want to do something that really hurts, and then try and push him into the circle, basically while he's in pain. So while he's stunned, Again, I'm getting really fucked up impulses. I'm gonna try and bite his ear off to distract him.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have a good volatile stat, so I doubt it'll work, but
Do you have
fuck
any
it.
strings left to spend?
I do
You
have
can
a
add
string.
one to the roll if you spend a...
I'm gonna do that. Fuck it. I have one string after that as well. I have so many on you at the start.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 9. Yeah,
Okay,
that works.
Ooh. You harm them, but choose one. So they learn something about your true nature. I decide how bad the harm is, or you're already your darkest self. You can't do that one.
Yeah. What's most fun? I think you decide how bad the harm turns out. That's fun.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, 3 is going to take me out, so up to you.
Yeah. It's just going to be the one actual harm, but you stumble into the circle. Your ear fully torn apart. It is bloody. You are
Spit it out.
And there is, as the blood hits the ground, a glow starts to spread from it like vines coming out. And you disturb the earth that was mostly disturbed as you fall. And as you uncover what was buried there, you see a hand half buried in the earth. And Miss McMurdo screams.
Okay, I think at this point... So we are in the circle.
Are we both in the circle?
You pushed him. Do you want to be in the circle?
I did push him.
Then you are
really.
on the edge of the circle.
Yeah, my intention was to get somebody else into the circle for this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the edge.
I've got to fulfill my bargains. I'm going to try at... So the way this works is there's a hill that rises up and then there's a divot that goes down. And the
So there's
circle
like
is in
a
the centre
circle
of
of
the divot.
hills, like hill around you. You're in,
Yeah.
like a natural bowl. No, you're in the.
Are we on the
centre
top of a
bowl,
hill?
Surrounded by hill.
Okay, so right. So if I want to get her solidly out of the circle, I need to shoulder barge her up and over.
It's a long hill. Like this is a big little valley thing.
Yeah.
Big little valley.
Okay, so just sufficiently out of the way. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do then. I'm gonna try and get you away from the circle, and also me in the process with a body check.
Okay.
So, lash
Lash
out.
Yeah, lashing out physically. Nope, let's try and get out of this debt someday.
I still want revenge on her, don't I?
You do.
Yeah, vengeance.
Until that is
Noted.
resolved in some way. So that is... Oh god, yeah, that's like... That's like 11.
And you're trying to.
Volatile.
Are you trying
God.
to do damage?
I want her... I think there is enough of me left, because I'm at 4 strings, not 5, that I wouldn't want to try to kill her, and I'd be afraid of doing that. I just want to get her away from
So you don't take a harm,
there.
but you do get
So-
pushed a good distance.
Yeah, knowing that you're already pretty fucked up, I'm not at 5 strings, I don't want to kill you.
Cool.
In fact, I emphatically don't want to kill you near the circle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose we
As
can.
you push off from the ground, you disturb more of the earth, uncovering more of a human form. Nigel, what are you doing?
All right. From my vantage point under the ground, I shoot up, survey the scene. You mentioned previously that they banged up against a tree. How big is that tree?
There are a lot of trees. This little valley is still full of trees. They vary wildly between like a couple of feet and to ancient oaks.
If it's at all possible, I'm going to try and push this tree over on top of them.
You can try. It is deeply rooted. These are trees.
Okay, I guess this would be volatile.
Yeah. I'm not even sure a success is going to be enough to push over a tree, because that's not something a human
Maybe you could
do.
try and break a branch?
You could break a branch and, like, hit them, but...
Okay, I'll try and do that.
You're going to try and get both of us.
Essentially, I just want this situation to be over now. Okay, that's a 6.
No. You pick up a twig.
Oh, it's like one of those really kind of like it breaks, but it's like a sort of wet break with a load of it doesn't actually break off. It just sort of stays attached to the tree.
As this is happening,
I'm going full Basil faulty on this.
Fish calls out to probably Jules. Actually, is the most sensible one. Jules, it doesn't have to be this way. The gate cannot stay open and stay stable. You will destroy everything. A sacrifice has to be made.
I'm gonna look between him and Miss McMurdo. How fucked up is Miss McMurdo looking compared to Mr. Fish?
They are both pretty messed up. There are bright green vines wrapped around Miss McMurdo's throat.
Okay.
But there is also a corrosive black sludge sort of working its way across Fish's body as they wrestle.
Right.
Seems to me I have the power here. Why don't you make me an offer, Fish?
Why did we name this character Fish? Anyway.
I can escape my darker self if I make a bargain with an even more dangerous entity.
Ooh.
One life is all it takes, Jules. I could give you what I gave Crow. It was always meant to be the two of you. It doesn't have to be both.
What do you mean? What do you mean, the two of us?
2 lives were needed that would not be missed.
So who is it supposed to be? Who wouldn't have been missed?
Who ended up in the circle? Who was in the forest that night?
I was.
And so was I.
But when you stepped in the circle, you touched something. You felt something. And your anger, your righteous fury, it demanded balance. So a bargain was made. 2 lives. And you were bound to us. But something interfered, and he fights back against McMurdo, who's just snarling and going for his throat.
I look to McMurdo.
Then what about me? Where do I fit into this?
You are mine! And you can see the same vine that was leading to Nigel, which is still sort of leading to where Nigel is, but it's fraying, is also wrapped around your leg and connecting you to her.
There's still the humanoid figure in the ground, isn't there? Who is that, Fish? Tell me.
Who died that night? Who did you choose for us to take? She won't let him pass.
Because he was the price she paid for me. You wanted one target, didn't you? You only wanted Brian gone.
It never matters who. Every year we need 2, or the gates will destabilize, the world will burn.
And what has the world done for us? A world that left me alone. A world... I turn to you, to you, Crow. A world that has always been unjust to you. That has always left you, your promises broken, words unfulfilled, debts unpaid.
That's why you were chosen. Because
This
the world
world.
gave you nothing.
Let this world burn.
I offered you justice.
Let's finally have the world we deserve.
I offered justice, Crow. That's what I gave you that night.
And she offers what we want.
She starts crying.
Nigel, where are you?
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
gonna do something like
Okay.
imminently, but go to Nigel first. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know. I'm about to do
it,
something.
and then we'll jump to Nigel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it.
Sorry, it's just yeah.
No, seriously, you need to do this.
Seems to me there never was any justice, and there's never fucking going to be. The only one you can rely on to keep a promise is yourself. And I'm going to start walking into the circle,
Oh no.
crying.
Yeah.
You can see why I had to do it before somebody else did. It was
yeah.
it was such a strong impulse. I was like, I've got to do it, and then we can move on.
Okay. Seeing this, oh boy. Oh, if I've managed to work out that the body in the ground is Brian, I am going to. I think my instinct actually would be to go to him and take him out.
Okay. You uncover the very shallowly buried body.
Yeah.
It is not Brian. Brian's body was recovered.
Oh, of course.
This is your
shit.
body. You stare down at your own dead face. It's perfectly preserved as though no time's passed.
All right. Ooh. Can I? Oh. Can I interact with
Yeah.
it in any way?
It's a physical object in your hands.
Right. Okay. I am going to try and flesh puppet it then.
Can you, just... You can't, go into it and control it, can you? That's not a thing that you could do. But you can lift
no,
it.
not strictly speaking, but, I will, lift it up.
It's a bit of an effort, but you're not that big a guy. You can. You're a bit lanky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You others see the body of Nigel lifted from the earth.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
You come face
Just
to
crying.
face with it. It's in the center of the circle.
I'm gonna reach out to you, and I guess this is turn on. I'm out of strings, but I'm gonna try, because you're too close for me to try and risk harming you. I'm gonna just reach out my hand and basically beg.
Don't do this.
Why?
You want the world to have balance. You want to set things right. If you do this, if you sacrifice yourself, you lose the opportunities you have. Think of what you could do if you're still around. Think of the wrongs you could right. This world is broken. Break it further, and we can fix it. You can have what you want. Just step out of the circle.
You gotta roll.
Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta roll.
It's hot, but I'm gonna put myself back in debt
Do it.
Fair.
for this. Honestly, even there, 5 plus 2 for power is 7. Minus 1 from hot, plus 1 for stopping the death. It's 7. It's barely a success.
Oh,
And
it's a complex success.
it's a complex success. You you can either give me a string or choose to give yourself to me. Promise,
That kind of works
promise
here.
something you think I want.
If you would,
Or I
if
guess
you were
I'll
to
have to
join
embarrass
him
them.
on his side, that would be giving yourself.
Yeah,
It would, that
yeah,
counts.
yeah.
But you can also do the other options.
Ooh. Promise something I think you want. Ooh.
Well, I know that promise is going to work for you. So
I just... I don't know if I'm turning round.
If you don't, you're just going to see Nigel's slightly
I mean, you are
floundering
face to
corpse.
face with the corpse of Nigel.
Jesus.
Just sort of hanging as though
God.
someone's got him under the arms.
oh yeah, because we can't see Nigel.
Yep, can't see him, can't
Yeah.
hear him. Not until some things are fulfilled.
Ooh. I'm trying to form... I'm sorry, this is like a really long pause. I'm just sifting through
Yeah, no,
options.
you're good.
Um,
You're good.
Would you miss me?
What?
Would you miss me?
You know, it's the strangest thing. It's a strong word. But maybe I was wrong. But I always thought that I loved you. A crush, really. But I always noticed you. You're always there. You could be a right bitch at times, Crow. But of course I'd miss you.
And I'd miss you.
Hand is still extended.
How about we make a promise? I promise that if you left, I'd miss you. And you promise you'd miss me. So neither of us leave. How about that?
I promise.
I take the hand.
And I pull her out of the circle.
Nigel, what are you doing?
Okay, I am going to try and move my corpse between them.
Oh.
That's what's so horrid! Oh!
Yep.
I mean, I don't think there's a role for that. I think you could probably maneuver the corpse to
Yeah.
Like,
Nigel floats towards it.
Oh god!
It's the same size as Nigel the ghost that's carrying it, so it's dragging on the ground a little.
I mean, and you can't see Nigel the Ghost.
This is like dangling feet.
like,
I mean,
just like,
we're all outside the circle, including the corpse.
At
What
this
I want to
point-
do is throw the corpse into the circle.
I mean, that's going to take a lash out physically because someone's holding
Yeah.
the corpse.
Oh yeah. Despite the fact that I'm right in thinking that we can't actually see Nigel
Yeah,
right now. I'm not
no.
playing
No,
this
you
wrong,
can't
am I?
see him, you can't hear him.
Yeah, no.
His only way of
yeah.
communicating is through the moving of objects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Proper
will
poltergeist right
lash
now.
out physically then. Oh shit. I can't roll volatile. This character is not strong, apparently. 3.
You wrestle dead Nigel. It is
Dead Nigel
horrible.
prevails.
Oh, I've got another. I've got enough experience to get a thing, though. So that's exciting.
All right.
Right.
I think I'm just.
Fish shouts out to you all. Nigel, just let go, please.
I am going to take my corpse's finger and write in the dirt, remember.
Ooh, you do.
We will. We'll remember.
We don't just need to remember. You can be here with us. You're here. You're part of this. You're part of this world. This is where you belong.
Jules. He's dead.
Is that enough? Is that enough for me to escape my darkest self? Someone has to acknowledge my presence and demonstrate how much I will be around.
Yeah.
That'll do it. You flicker back into existence.
Okay. Once I become more visible and corporeal again, I will carefully place the corpse back down and start backing away. And I say, I've had enough of being the pawn in other people's games. I was supposed to have a life. I was supposed to make decisions. I even maybe could have done things, and I had all of those choices taken away from me. Let's not have any more choices taken away from us.
We're the masters of our own fates.
Yes.
Nigel, what are you doing?
So what?
Are you near the circle?
I am
Okay.
near it, I'm not in it anymore. So, I want to leave. Not leave this, and I sort of gesture at myself. But I say I want to leave this place. I want to be back where we were, anywhere but here.
Come with us.
I don't know if you
Don't
can.
understand. The world will not go back to normal.
Nigel, you're dead. It's happened. I don't know if you can leave.
But you can still make a difference.
How? You're disappearing.
How disappearing is Nigel
He's.
looking?
You could just about make out things behind him. Like, he's not solid.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to let go.
You need to hold on.
I don't know what either of us are doing.
Oh, am I? Okay. The two figures that are in the circle.
There's no one in the circle at the moment.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, what are Fish and McMurdo
What are
doing?
they doing?
Yeah, what are they doing?
They are wrestling, desperately trying to get out of each other's grasp.
There's just a fucking kaiju battle going on between two members of staff.
Yeah, yeah. yes, there is.
All right.
But they don't want to interrupt the interesting scene that's happening.
What he says is, well, the way I see it, all three of us have had our lives and nearly our deaths fucked around with by those two. How best do we ensure neither of them get what they want?
You're right. This isn't about Brian, this isn't about you, it's not about some construction accident, it's about them.
He benefits from the gate being closed. She benefits from it staying open. I can feel,
I look down at just the literal vines around me. I can
see her thorns in me. So how do we escape?
Can I gaze into the abyss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
you
gaze
can.
into the abyss and find out how we can fuck them both up at the same time.
Can I do the same?
Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Can we all
Yeah, all of you roll.
I picture we all link
Yeah.
hands
Yeah,
and
just
look
like-
together.
Yeah.
Roll dark.
So what are we rolling? Dark. Okay.
If you've any of you've got one that you've
Okay,
taken forward previously about anything, use it now.
Okay. That's an 8 for me.
Also an 8, because I think I had one I took forward.
10 from... You know, it's fucking ironic, but because I'm planning to fuck her over, I'm going to draw on her power. So it becomes an 11 instead of a 9.
That's a really good
Good
fuck
fuck
you. I
you.
love it. Okay, interesting. Here was me hoping you'd come up with the plan. Okay, what would work? What would do this? You see images of the three of you. You all see the same thing because this is a linked one. I'm going to say that even the correct answer is going to be confusing and alarming.
Okay.
So let's just get the same answer for everyone. Holding
Okay.
hands and stepping through the gate. There's no bloodshed, there's no death, there's something that you pass to another space. It's like this, but in this other world, you see everything looks like the creatures that are inside McMurdo and Fish. It is another plane of existence, it is different. And while you are there, the world starts to crack and shatter.
Whichever world the three of us are in will break.
I know what we have to do. I can take us there, if you'll come.
I said I'd miss you if you were gone. Nigel?
There is a problem in this situation.
We're house ruling it.
So
You can take them both.
I have the thing guide where I can spend a string on someone
Do
willing.
it anyway. He can give you a string in this
Okay,
moment
cool.
by doing
I don't
this.
have any strings on Nigel, so cool.
It's too much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're both willing, I can take you with me. We can go through together.
Let's do it. Nigel,
Yes.
let's break their world.
All right. I don't know if you want to narrate this, Rob, it's like how this looks in your world, but I bring them across the veil into the fairy realm.
You go through the circle, you step through, but as you do, there is a shimmer of green vines that open out in front of you like a doorway, and you step through. This is a world of ethereal plant life everywhere, small creatures flitting around. Here, you can see McMurdo and Fish, but whereas the human bodies were more prominent outside, here it's the other way around. And you can see miles away in various distances, in directions, similar figures that stand out in the world. There are more of these people. But as you are here, it's like the world's made of glass around you. There are cracks appearing. It is shattering. Through the cracks, though, you are seeing glimpses of other worlds. So, this world is shattering, but it is some sort of gate between other things. And they are starting to leak through these cracks.
Let's go. Let's just go anywhere.
How are the two figures behind us looking now?
They have stopped fighting and they are staring in horror at the world around them.
I just go for a full-on evil villain laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right then. You're the guide. Lead on.
I take his face, I lean in, I kiss him, pull him by the shirt and just take him in with me. Grab Nigel's hand on the way, if he will come, to whatever world is nearest.
Step through.
I don't even choose by what it looks like, just whatever is
Step
nearest.
through a crack in reality. And that is where we will leave it. Because it's a fun open end. Thank you very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. We've had a lot of fun, I think. Thank you for breaking the rules. I guess fair C's and natural 20s, despite the lack of C's or 20-sided dice.
Any kind of C or... yeah. Fair strings and natural sixes? I don't know.
Yeah.
Have a lovely time